This is 4D. Heat on my palms, grip locked, heart racing. Shoes hit the pedal, whole room shaking. Jersey on my back, hair pulled low and blazing. Every turn I take, got the ghosts I'm chasing. 4D in my veins, feel that fire when I play, when I move, when I break, when I bang through the lane. 4D on my skin, when I lose, when I win, I'm alive in the light of the game I'm in. 4D, 4D, 4D. It's different.
It's NTT IndyCar Race Weekend, and you know what that means. When they race, we race first. And it's time for some top split action in the 2026 IndyCar iRacing Series. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gatso. Welcome to round 12 of the 2026 IndyCar iRacing Series, and P1's broadcasting Saturday top split presentation from Nashville Super Speedway. Today's 300 lap, nearly 400-mile race is presented by 4D Racewear. This is not only the highest lap count of the season, but also the longest race of the season. News to me. I had to catch up on that. Sorry, I'm late to the party. Nearly 400 miles compared to the 500-kilometer race at Indianapolis. And 325, we had a Gateway earlier in the season, which traditionally used to be our longest race of the season. It is also our 101st top split broadcasted race in IIS history. So the long road to 200 starts today. Joining me in the booth is Tony and Ryan, as always. I think Tony is catching up. So what we're going to do is, since on the screen, we won't talk about the points or anything right now. We'll just jump into the starting lineup and get into tonight's or this afternoon's big race here at Nashville Super Speedway. And I will just cue up the music and get into the starting lineup, unless you are ready.
I am
ready.
Wow.
So let's get into this. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go very quickly through it. We have on pole, it's Kevin Burrell. He did a 23.5. Joining him on the front row is Alan Brachot, his teammate. Then we have in row 2, Sophie Connell, joined by Matt Taylor. Row 3, we can find AJ Musselman. Good to see him. It's been a while since we last saw him. Joined by Jared Curry, who's going to be turning 6. Then we have Matt Holliday and Ty Quilla. Anton Polyakov and Iker Vega from Spain is going to start 10th. Wayne Hutchinson, AJ Schlotterbeck. Then we have Kyle Thunberg, Christopher Block, Jason Willott, Brandon Saddam, Lindy Kirkenbauer, Crash Neon, Robin Lennox. And then we have Rob Moleska. He didn't set a time, so he's going to be starting from the back from P20, joined by Esteban Rodriguez, another very fast driver. And then also Jesper Dahlgren and Rashad Craig, and that's the 23 car field for today. Got it in time, oh no, wait, hold on. We also have James Needham, Christian Hilgard, and Jason Green. And we're getting ready to go green. Green flag is up.
'26-car field here today. Down the backstretch, it is the pair of the Nexus eSports squad, followed by Team I5G, and then we have Matt Hollaball to the inside of Sophie Connell as the Alliance is making an appearance in the top 5. Right behind Sophie is Jared Curry.
Yeah, and this, Nashville has become a little bit of packy lately with the changes that they have made to the car, and also some of the setup rules that you need to follow.
Oh, Matt Taylor's not wasting any time.
Yeah, Matt Taylor going to the front. Also, Tyke Wheel, I see him moving up a little bit.
Aquila had a good race earlier in the week. In fact, he goes purple that time by with a 199.4. One of the only other racetracks on the IndyCar schedule where they get up to 200 miles per hour for an average lap speed. It's here in Indianapolis, Nashville Superspeedway, just outside of Nashville, 4 hours south of Indianapolis. And Taylor starts pulling away a little bit, so the re-energized Team I5G squad is showing power early, but Burrell starting from the pole. And that's one of the things we wanted to talk about in the pre-race is Burrell still yet to have any top split broadcasted wins. But here are the points. Points don't lie. Consistency pays by a total of 433 points over his teammate Alan Berteau. He is still your points leader with no wins on the broadcast, but wins everywhere else.
Yeah, we have talked about it nonstop. I think it's so important to be consistent, and right now he's, doing a great job holding here up front. I think he's due.
Yeah, I think he's due as well. I mean, you can't become a two-time and looking for your third straight IAS championship without getting a win somewhere along the campaign. Now, he's getting them in the campaign. He's just not getting them on the top split. That doesn't mean, just because he doesn't get them here on the top split doesn't mean anything. But you are 100% right. He is absolutely due here on the broadcast. Let's talk about Matt Hollenbaugh a little bit. He is one of your technical teammates, Tony. What do you think? Have you got a chance to run the setup that your team is running, and what do you think about it? We know that you're in the fixed race on Tuesday. What did you think of the setup development for your open team, for your open side of things on your team?
Yeah, I think the setup has a ton of speed. It should be able to easily, keep up with the fast guys, power slide, and whatnot. I liked it. When I drove it, it felt very planted. It also felt that it could rotate with the amount that we could play around with the bars. It would change a lot depending on what you needed. So I think the Alliance has a really good shot here, as can be evidenced by Matt running up front, Ty running up front, Jared also running up front, and then where is Jasper? Lindy, yeah, of course.
Of course.
And Rob and Jasper right now, I look back to see where they were at. They're still pretty much where they started. They're just right now kind of like saving fuel, biding their time, making sure that they don't abuse the tires at the beginning of the race, which is probably the best way to tackle starting up a little bit back. There's a good battle happening there for what is it? 11th between Polyakov, Esteban Rodriguez, who has been going up front. He started all the way in the back up to 12th. Christian Hilgard also. They are doing a different strategy. They're not saving anything. Both Hilgard and Rodriguez are moving up. Polyakov has a little bit of a moment there, almost hits the wall just behind these two.
Polyakov is channeling his inner Simon Pagino there with that livery. Let's bring it to the booth, Ryan Skywalker. Ryan, man, Nashville, fast. It's concrete. It's the only concrete track we race on. Very bumpy, very narrow. You think in a super speedway, it's pretty easy to drive. It's just, plant the foot and turn left, and it's anything like that. What is the first things that these drivers got to get right today, besides this race being the longest of the season? I would imagine patience is the first thing they need to get that right into their head. But what's the other thing they need to get right in order to get through this bit of a marathon race that we had today, 400 miles?
Yeah, definitely patience, as you mentioned, for sure, because it's 300 laps, and yeah, you don't, in my mind, you don't have to make up position straight away. Just let it play out and see how it goes. I think other things you need to be aware of and be on top of is stuff like your weight jackers and anti-roll bars, because obviously as the run goes on and as the fuel burns off, the car will start feeling probably start feeling different. So stay on top of your weight jacker and your anti-roll bars for sure, because around this track, from what I found on the practice laps that I did during the week, the car can, when you least expect, it can have a tendency to be a little bit loose at times.
Yeah, especially coming off of 2, it can get very loose and get really snappy. I almost crashed a couple times. So yeah, you definitely need to be aware of what you're doing with your weight jack, right? Second, what Ryan was alluding there. That's going to be very important. Who can stay ahead of on their tools and their adjustments to make sure that they're still competitive.
Got the camera on the King, Robert Malechka, in the number 1. And Antonio, I want to point out, he is able to sail that car high or low through the middle of the corners and is gaining on tons of people. He has that thing dialed in. He's already up 6 spots to 14th.
I mean, it's Rob.
Look at him in the middle. I mean, just right underneath Stanton. Like, Stanton is standing still mid-quarter, and he's now up the hill guard.
That's probably one of the worst things that you can look into. Like, you mind your own business, just logging laps, and then all of a sudden, Rob Malechka comes up to catch you. That's, and he, the setup from the hyper, team hype is always going to be great. They're always going to be top of the line, but then you also have top of the line drivers, so that's why they can do whatever they want to do.
Malechka now up to 11th. Just took a peek at Jesper Dahlgren, your teammate, Tony, and he is now up 6 spots to 16th, kind of doing a little bit of the same, not quite as a brisk of a pace, but he is working his way up in the middle of the corner. He seems to be handling pretty well.
Yeah, and funny because we thought that they were just kind of like biding their time, and they were at the beginning of the race. And we saw Hildegard and Rodriguez move up really quickly, and now that's one of the cool things. They can turn it up whenever they want, so that's probably very encouraging for them.
Speaking of turning it up, Clindy up 6 spots as well, now to 7th. You're one of your other teammates, and he is now tucked in line behind Hollenball, who's faded just a little bit back to 6th. Clindy underneath Hollenball down the backstretch. Looks like Ty popping down low to give a little bit of a draft to his teammates.
The only thing that they will need to take a look at is make sure that their tire lasts for the entire stint. It's not degrading that much, but if you're driving very aggressively, you can still damage it.
Taylor leads now by 2/10. He did pull out by 3/10 as now they get later into this run. Now, versus the real IndyCar race, and they're going to qualify here in a little bit. They had a morning practice. I did see David Malukas getting a wreck in the early practice, but I have not got a chance to finish it. So no spoilers for the remainder of practice at that point. And also no spoilers in chat, please, on qualifications. We'll want to be surprised on that, as long as it's not Polo, really. Anyway. Haters gonna hate, I guess. But we see Taylor, Burrell, Berteau, Curry, and Quilla. Wednesday produced an extraordinary 3-car battle. Former Elite Racing League Indy 500 winner Hamilton Akabawizi came from 22nd to 1st to win by 60 thousandths of a second over fellow ERL Indy 500 winner Robert Malechka. Back-to-back and defending IIS champion Kevin Burrell finished 3rd, only 7 hundredths of a second back. So again, very close finish there at that race. Then the Friday race belonged to Robert Malechka. He started 21st, led 130 laps, and won by 1/10 of a second over Caleb Brashear. Ty Quilla came home in 3rd in that one. 6 cars finished within a half second of each other in the top portion of that finish. Robert enters Saturday as the hottest driver of the race week. He finished 2nd Wednesday and then won on Friday. Did not have the greatest race on Tuesday, but we can give him an excuse on that one. The oval race, I think he was using for a little, maybe some reconnaissance, a live scrimmage, so to speak. Finished 11th in that one, but that by no means should indicate that he was having any difficulties there whatsoever. But up front, it is Taylor, it is Burrell, it is Berteau, it is Curry, it is Quilla, as we are now lap 27 of 300, as Jesper Dahlgren is setting purple lap after purple lap right now at 201.1.
Jesper right now getting a little bit of a draft from the guys in front, and the very fast drivers in front of him, Steven Rodriguez and Christian Hildgaard, who are also benefiting from the draft from Robert Maleshka. So yeah, this group is really going to catch up to that front group that has now Matt Hollibaugh at the back of that pack. Iker Vega was able to make a move on him, but both Vega and Hollibaugh, they seem to be maybe losing a little bit of contact with the guys in front.
Riding with Jesper Orman as he continues to set hot laps. He is right behind the last race winner, Esteban Rodriguez, who was sure to thank the wife while he could to watch the kiddo so he could race and get the 100th win in our IIS history, and our 100th top split broadcasted race last week or 2 weeks ago at Mid-Ohio.
Smart man.
Smart man.
Yeah, and something that we haven't talked about, these guys, if it all goes green, it's very easy. Pit whenever it's lap 50. 50, 100, 150, etc. That's your strategy.
Five-stopper.
Yeah, pretty much. But we'll see. I mean, right now I think they're all going to be playing pretty nice to each other. There is really no urgency right now. We are just 10% of the way in, so long ways to go. But you can also see that Rob Maleshka, he has pretty much now caught up to Matt Hollibaugh. He's 0.5 of a second behind him. He was like a second and a half a couple laps ago. And again, bringing that fast group with Hildgaard, Rodriguez, and Jesper Dahlgren.
I was getting ready to say, unlike the real IndyCar race this weekend, they'll have two different tire compounds to choose from in that race. We only have the one. So you were talking about tire degradation early. We only have the one compound, whatever is the default compound that Firestone felt like they need to give us in the virtual sense here at Nashville Super Speedway. So unlike the real IndyCar Series, we will not have to go to a softer or harder compound. I don't even think those compounds at Nashville this weekend can be signified between red sidewalled and black sidewalled tires. I think they just look all alike. But there are two different compounds, but that is not reflected in the game in case you're playing along at home and you know that the IndyCar Series has two different compounds this weekend.
That's going to be interesting.
They used to have regular compounds on a regular basis. I remember back in the old IndyCar racing 1 and 2 days that you could go like to Michigan, right? And late in the race, if you could ever set it up to where it was like a late race split, I mean, you could just throw on a set of softs and just set it on an oval if you wanted to.
Didn't you? Weren't you able to choose between? Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
you were
they
able
had
to choose
hard,
between
medium, and softs.
As well. No, but also from the brand, as Maleshka now is making a look there. Matt Hollibaugh, that's for P10.
And back in the day, that was during the tire war between Fire. Oh, Hollibaugh has a lift, and it's going to cost him 3 positions.
Probably 4 because he's going to end up in the outside here. Jesper
he just slams the door, and Jesper, his associate teammate, but he kind of wanted to get back in line. I don't blame him.
I imagine that they talked over that on comms because otherwise it was a little too aggressive. Although here, yeah, Matt's tires are gone. You can see him. He's sliding up all the way to the top of the racetrack whenever we are entering turn 1. And that's going to let Jesper go by. And hopefully Matt can stay just hooked to the back of this group, which is very, very fast.
Hey, Ryan, let's talk about Matt's situation. And let's also talk about this track again. I remember when this track first came out. Oh, big lift for Matt coming off the corner. But when this track first came out, I'm like, sweet, a super speedway. I'm really good at these tracks. The first time I put an IndyCar on this track and we didn't have the right aero package, it handled awful. I mean, I just like, this is a super speedway in name only. It is bumpy, it is narrow, it is concrete, it is slick, it is not easy. Let's put yourself in Matt's shoes. He's hanging on for dear life. I mean, he's probably 10 laps away from making his first stop, but he wants to come in now.
Yeah, that's the thing with this track as well. It can if you're too aggressive or maybe just trying too hard too early, it can bite you, as Matt's finding out at the moment, because Yeah, just watching it now. Just even on corner entry, sorry, in mid corner, it just seems to be the cars just pushing wide, and I think that's just the fact down to the fact that his tires are gone. And this track, it probably doesn't look it, but it can be a bit of a tire kill.
It definitely is like a cheese grater. So yeah, these track temperature and base setup that we have to use is less aggressive on the tires, but it still can totally destroy them. As we can see, Matt is now 1.5 seconds behind Jesper, and right in front of Maleshka, it's Iker Vega. Take a look at how he's going to try and enter as low as possible. Vega is. But then he's going to go all the way to the top, and that's because the tires are no longer responding. They don't have any turn. And behind him, Maleshka, he was taking care of his tires. He was making sure to not damage them. He's able to easily breeze by and catch up with the guys in front.
This racetrack has changed over time on iRacing and the way that we raced it. You might remember, Tony, in the early days, you really only had about 5 laps in order to get all your passing done at the start of the green flag and after cautions. And then after that, it became a single file parade race for the most part, as we watch Iker and Malechka side by side in the 3, and Hilgard going to try to follow him on through, and Hilgard gets a little bit of an arrow washes out to the outside now. But those races were very frustrating because pretty much where you started is where you finished if you made no mistakes, and all you could really do was capitalize on mistakes made by drivers in front of you. But then we had that period last year we saw, which was this whole pack race thing, which was really interesting. Alain Berteau won the last race we had here at the end of last season, but even then, between now and then, the racetrack has changed, the arrow has changed, the tire has changed, and there goes Alain Berteau, purple lap of 2:01.2. It has changed again, so the racetrack has really gone through 3 different evolutions in the 3 different races we've had here at this racetrack.
Yeah, it has changed so much, and I vividly remember when we had, that when it was first released, you could go to the outside, make like 5-7 positions on like the first laps that you like you said, but then that would hurt you for the entire length of the stint, and you would bleed those back during it and even further. So yeah, you have to be super careful with the approach that you took, because otherwise you were not gonna last a lot. And it's very interesting that it became a pack race just because of the nature of the in-game physics. So it definitely throws a little bit of a different wrench, but you still need to be careful and make sure that you manage your stuff, because otherwise you're going to lose contact with the guys in front and essentially be locked out of it. As Vega put a great fight, but was finally unable to keep Maleshka behind. Now he's going to try, Hilgard is going to try to make his move towards the top 10. And we have the first one to blink. That's Matt Taylor. He's going to come into the pits. That makes sense. He was leading.
Yeah, it's about 2 laps shorter than the 50-lap mark you were talking about. They can enter off of 3 and 4 here. They do not have to go to the access road. I think it would be better and if we would actually execute coming in off the access road, just like real IndyCar has to. But here we can come right off the banking off of turn 4 on the pit road. He's coming about a lap shorter than the 50-lap mark you talked about, but a little bit of a fuel save next time out will bring him right back to schedule. Here he is rolling down to his stall for his first stop of the day. Let's pop in the cockpit and take a look at these tires. They don't look too bad.
No, if you're up front enjoying clean air, they're never going to look too bad.
Down and away.
And that's just the thing. If you know what you're doing, staying up front is probably the best thing. However, the trade-off is you're going to burn more fuel than everybody else. So there's another one coming. That's Iker Vega is speeding.
All about into the pits.
Allball is probably wanting that pit stop right there. we're gonna ride with him and see what his tires look like. And I'm gonna guess the tire hasn't stopped spinning, but that right front does not look very happy right now.
Yeah, but you should add, the little sad face.
Oh yeah, I am. That is a very unhappy. There it is. Now it's nice and shiny. So.
Kevin Burrell is going to fit in this time. Indy Kirkenbauer as well. Oh! Pirel maybe taking a little bit.
Oh, and just some evasive maneuvers there with Christian Hilgard coming on the pit road with Kevin Burrell. Again, teammate on teammate. You don't want to have that happen on no fratricide coming to pit road. You don't want fratricide at all, but not coming to pit road of all things when you're going that slow. As we saw Kirkenbauer going to his stall.
Yeah, Curry, Aleshka.
Burrell, and we hear some radio traffic in the background, so we hear someone said they're coming in. Alechka on pit road. Curry with his teammate Jesper Dahlgren on pit road.
Yeah, Clendy called out that he was going to pay it. Same with Sophie Connell. I imagine everybody's going to be here. Yeah, that's Taekwila, Alan Berta, Sophie Connell.
Oh, Clendy! Power slides it, and he spins it. And that caused Sophie Connell to have to take some evasive action. She does a good job. She gets to pit road. Hopefully there was no penalty there for any one of those drivers. It's going to cost Clendy some time, but at least it's a long race. How much is that going to cost him here?
Oof. Yeah, that's going to cost him at least maybe 10, 12 seconds, if not a little bit more. Sophie, I don't think they got a flat back. I think
no,
they were able to
she
get
made it back
away.
on, yeah. She went through the grass. So Sophie has had a complete Saturday, racing and a little yard work completed. She can grab an iced tea and put her feet up for the rest of the day. She's done.
For the rest of the weekend.
Right, exactly. Taekwila is your leader, but not for long, as there is a whole pack of angry bees going into turn 3. Robert Malechka down low.
AJ Musselman is right in front of this group. He's a lap down. Not sure what happened to him.
We have 2 AJs in the race. We got Slaughterback, and we have AJ Musselman. You can never have enough AJs in an IndyCar race.
You know, I could also technically be an AJ.
Do you
Middle
have?
name starts with a J.
Do you have a? Oh, right.
Yeah. So you can now call me AJ. AJ Estrada.
So wait a minute now. So if AJ Foyt is Super Tex, can I call you Super Mex?
I love it. Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, I liked El Patron. I really did. I mainly picked that up from Narcos, but I really like El Patron. I like it, but Super Mex has a much better ring to it.
Yeah, no, let's do it. That's that. You know that. I love it. All right, let's reset the field.
Jared Curry is your leader. Go ahead, let's run us through the field.
Yeah, no, Jared did a fantastic job in that pit sequence. He comes out in front of everybody. Now he's leading. Taekwila is second, running right with him. And then we have a fight for third between Christian Hilder and Rob Maleshka. Rob has been doing a fantastic job. No surprise.
Oh, and here he
Now
comes. You can almost hear the cavalry charge music, because here comes Robert down low in 2 positions in 1 lap, and he's now up to second.
Yeah, and he's gonna get a great shot here at Jared. Although passing the leader, that's probably the toughest part of it. Cleaner is really beneficial, but we'll see. I'm also not sure that he wants necessarily to lead, but what do I know? What do I know? Here comes
this is Robert Malechka
to the lead.
Who led a race high 130 laps in the Friday race.
Yeah, you know, he got a 4-lap buffer, so that's also going to help. And he can easily just switch it back to maybe map 2, map 3, even while leading, and still keep it. And, you know, again, if theoretically there are no cautions, he can still make it just by saving fuel while leading.
We saw him back in the P1 600 play with his food 3 times. Went to the back to the front, back to the back to the front, back to the back to the front again. I don't want to say he's playing with his food here now. This is the IIS where we take things a little bit more serious. But if he wants to, he has definitely proven that if he needs to go back and save some fuel or just wants to take it easy, Tony, he can storm right back up front. He is that hooked up right now.
Yeah, it seems that way. That car looks really planted, and he can position it wherever he wants, and he doesn't seem very miffed by any dirty air that is thrown at him. Some other cars, whenever they're following, you will see that they will shoot up the racetrack because they get tight. It didn't seem that way with Rob Maleshka's car, so yeah, that's gonna definitely play into his favor. So yeah, we have now Rob Maleshka leading, Jared Curry's P2, Christian Hildgaard up to third, Taquila running fourth, Kevin Burrelli's up to actually down to fifth. So we have Alan Bertal and Indy Kirkenbauer, Esteban Rodriguez, Jesper Dahlgren running ninth. That is like the top group. Then we have Sophie Connell. Sophie, that really didn't hurt her that much. She's maybe like half a tenth behind the lead group. So happy that it didn't affect her really, that incident in pit road. Iker Vega right behind her. Matt Taylor, now that's your biggest loser. He was leading, and now because he had to pit so early, all the way back to what is it? P12.
He said 12. Yeah, he went from the lead to 12 after that round of pit stops.
And then we also have Matt Holliball, who has lost touch with that group, 3 seconds behind. And in this same group, we have also Glendy. Wasn't that affected by it. He was close to the lead, but realistically maybe lost, 5 seconds, 4 seconds? So, that's also really good for him. Rashad Craig, J.D. Smeaton, that's this group who is trying to run down the lead one.
JT Smeaton in 16th. He's had Hollenball way up in the gray off a 2, and he gets back in line. So he just missed that corner entirely.
I'm not sure if he missed it or if he intentionally wanted to move towards the back of this pack and save a little bit of fuel and tire. Or maybe he's already struggling a tiny bit. I don't know. That was weird.
It kind of goes back to the point I was talking with you, Ryan, is this racetrack, it looks like it's wide, but it is not, and the groove is very narrow. It is right down on the bottom. There maybe is a bit of a groove about a half a car length off the bottom, but once you get up out of the groove, up into the high side, there's just no grip up there, and that's probably why Hollenball's move there looked a little bit more sketch than maybe it was actually turned out to be.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. Pretty much at this stage of the race is probably not really any grip on the outside like you mentioned. So like Hollibon tried to make a move on the outside, but basically just found out there's no grip up there at the moment. And if there's no grip up there at the when you try and make a move on the outside, you're pretty much just a passenger.
Back to JT Smeaton in 15th. He is now your points leader of the Formula Indy Series after 2 races. Not only is he going to have to survive a 300-lap, 400-mile race here at Nashville Superspeedway this afternoon, but he had to survive. It didn't even get to the 300-mile mark in the Formula Indy Series on Thursday night. It was time shortened to 285 miles of the 300 miles they had scheduled. It was a heck of a slugfest at Pocono, and he managed to survive that race and become the FIS points leader. So JT Smeaton now has a little something on his resume and something to build upon for this season, for the remainder of this season, really, is he is now one of the points challenges very early on in the FIS.
Yeah, it's no surprise, really. We have seen JT, especially on the road courses, do such a great job here on these broadcasts that, makes all the sense in the world to me. As now we have a little bit of a goggle of cars, because we have Jason Walat and Wayne Hutchinson being lapped by these guys, and that's making it a little bit different, a little bit tough, because they're taking their own lines, trying to keep their race going. But now that has allowed Christian Hildgaard to make a move try to make a move on Jared Curry. He wasn't able to complete it. Hutchinson trying to stay out of the way. Oh, but he cannot disappear.
watching 3 wide at the line. Sophie down low. Walatra's trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah, and Sophie had been trying that move on Rodriguez for quite a few laps. He's finally able to complete the move. And remember when I was talking about Matt Hall about that second group, that they were like maybe 2.5 seconds behind this group? Well, now they are 4.5 seconds behind. That's the difference that the draft makes.
We watch Esteban Rodriguez now tucking in line. Who is that? Is that Wayne Hutchison? That's Wayne in the ECR livery. As Sophie goes on the low side and will bring Esteban on by. Up in front, Jesper Dahlgren has patiently been working the backside of Indy Kirchenbauer's car. Kirchenbauer right behind our defending winner from a year ago, Alan Berteau, who has worked his way up into the top 3 in points. Kevin Burrell, Ty Quilla. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's very interesting that Indy Kirchenbauer and Jesper Dahlgren both have made the outside work on turn 1. You're not seeing everybody do it.
Oh, here goes Jesper down low. It is a master versus a student right here.
But yeah, Indy's going to get the benefit there of the draft.
And the high side momentum.
Down low, it's gonna be very difficult to complete it down there. So he regroups, lifts a little bit, and now he's gonna, try and build a run. Jesper is.
Well, Indy goes underneath Berteau, gets a nose there. Not going to be able to get the positions because the same thing that happened to him, it happened. He did to Jesper about a lap and a half ago.
It looks like Matt Taylor, who's currently running 11th, has also lost a tiny bit of. Yeah, he has a gap now of 1.3 seconds to the car in front. He might be helped a little bit by Wayne Hutchinson, but if he's unable to catch up really quickly, they're gonna drop him, just like that group with which now is being led by Clandy.
Good to see back in 21st, Uncle Rob in the lineup. Rob Uglinix, as he is keep it off the wall, Rob. There we go. We don't want to put the camera on you for the first time. But he has one of the longest careers here out of any driver in the lineup right now in terms of combined starts between he looks to the low side of Crash Neon. This is for position. That's for 20th position right there. So up into the top 20 now goes Uncle Rob. But he has a ton of starts going back into the early days of the fixed oval series. And then, of course, mini starts here in the IIS. 22 top split starts here in the IIS. His 23rd start here today has 1 podium. Christian Hilgard goes purple. Alan Berteau ups him on the series same lap, 201.3.
And here comes Rob Maleshka to lap this group, which includes Jason Green, Christopher Block, Crash Neon, and Uncle Rob Uglinix.
Now, Uncle Rob is a 2-time winner at New Hampshire on the fixed oval side of things. He's only one of, I think, 3 winners to win at New Hampshire more than one occasion. So he has a little bit of a resume in the fixed oval side of things, tons of starts. As Christian is taking advantage of this lap traffic and is sneaking to the back to the attenuator, Rob. Rob showing a lot of patience, not a lot of urgency, doesn't need to right now, as he's right now working the backside of Uglinix, coming off a 2 to put him down a lap. Crash Neon dropping to the low side, trying to stay out of this way. Look at this angry pack of bees. Lap traffic, and this is all the top 5 right here, right around 3 wide off the corner. Hold your line, boys. 4 wide.
No.
Oh.
Apron bad. Apron bad.
But if there's a place to go to the apron, that's about the only place to do it.
Yeah, the thing, don't upset the car by only placing 2 tires in there. But no harm, no foul, nothing happened. But it could have been a disaster.
Again,
Jesper
looking through
trying
wide
to
of the
take
line.
an
Jesper in the
opportunity
middle.
here, yeah.
He sees it. Jesper on the high side now as he goes right to the top.
And
Puts the dirty
he
air
should
on
be able to complete
Stanton.
the pass here.
Yeah, he should be able to pull that off.
And moving up to 7th.
All right. I'm going to have my other overlays up. Kirchenbauer, purple lap 201.4. Again, he's right in that group right there. So he's doing that with traffic involved. Uncle Rob stays high. Looking to the high side of Kirchenbauer is Kevin Burrell. And then Jared Curry, that's for position in front of him. So Rob, lap down, Uncle Rob. And then Curry in the gold car, or excuse me, Indy in the gold car. Curry in the yellow and black. Speaking of bees, that looks like a bee. Here's Burrell underneath Uncle Rob, and he'll bring Jesper Dahlgren with him.
Jesper has a good run here. I don't think he's going to be able to complete anything unless he goes to the top, and he does, but there is no momentum. Yeah, I was going to say, right now, purple lap happened, 2 laps ago?
Yeah.
You would imagine that would not be the case after, being out on track for 40 laps. However, they are on light fuel tanks right now. They're about 7 laps away, 6 laps away from pitting. Maybe a little bit more as they go side by side there right in front. That's Kirchenbauer making a move on Jared Curry. Completes it easily, actually. But you're getting, again, the light fuel tank and also the help from the draft of the other guys with the lap cars. So that would also explain it. Jesper now has a good run here on Kevin Burrell. It's a little to the outside of him. Oh, he should be able to complete a pass here. Still outside, and now he's going to head all the help of that draft.
Yeah, and then Jared's going to go to the high side and even add to that a little bit, and then go to the low side and give the dirty air through the corner to Burrell. So Burrell not winning on either straights here, on the front straight or through the corners.
Yeah, and add to that the hybrid that you can play whenever you want to add a little bit of a power boost to your engine. And yeah, there we go. Jesper Dahlgren up to 6th.
Sophie underneath Berteau gets down there. They're going to come off the corner still wheel to wheel. Now Kevin can do to Berteau what he just got done to himself by Jared Curry. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's giving the toe up the high side, going down low, giving the dirty air to Sophie. That might wash Sophie up into the high side. There's a bit of a dual-edged sword. Sophie could just run right up into the high side of Allen. She's not careful. She's very skilled, though, and she keeps it off of Berteau and falls back into the 9th position and is able to reset. But it's not done with the Nexus Storm yet, because Esteban Rodriguez, another entry in that Nexus eSports squad, right behind her and stalking just as well.
This has been a really, really fun fight between all these guys. But, clearly the top 10 have, separated themselves from everybody else, although Rodriguez seems to be hanging back a little bit more than a little too close to comfort.
That's a top 10 in the top 11 there. There's the 11th place car, Matt Taylor. So Robert Malechka still leads. He crosses the start-finish line now. Right with him is Christian Hilgard, and right behind him, Ty Quilla. Again, very patient, these two. Just ride it out. Long race. Andy Kirchenbauer, the prodigy, joins him in 4th. Jared Curry in 5th. Jesper Dahlgren in 6th. While we watch this battle unfold. And Dahlgren, purple lap, a 201.8. So we're starting to creep up now. We'll probably see a 202 by the time we end this day. It goes down underneath
Taylor.
Curry, and that's going to be a planned pass, I'm guessing.
Yeah. 100%. Matt Taylor was able to save enough to pit right on cue, lap 100. 101, actually.
Yeah, so he banked 2 laps during that stint. Not bad. So we'll see if that is able to pay off for him. Remember, he came in as the leader at the end of the first stint and has not been able to get back to the lead since. It's been marred back in the mid-pack. Coming down to the attention of the I5G crew on pit road. New set of Firestone Firehawk tires and a full tank of Shell Racing fuel. And they'll send him down and away. Also on pit road, we do have the Menards livery of Polkinov. A whole bunch of cars out. Uncle Rob. Iker's on pit road.
Yeah, Iker Vega was working with Matt Taylor. They were burning a ton of fuel. So that's also the other downside to it. If you're not up front with all that grip, you're going to be burning a lot more fuel. Now, the interesting thing is when this group decides to pit, and they all have different markers.
Here comes Rob with Jesper, and they're lighting it up. Jesper made up a ton of space on that. I think you're actually kind of like, whoa, at him.
That was a great pit entry. Great pit entry.
And he hits his marks in the spirit of Indiana up on the jacks.
Right on the limit, though.
To compete with somebody like Robert Malechka, that's what you have to do. And we're coming off of pit road. It's going to be a drag race right in front of them. And they have the 21, Brandon Statton.
That's, Brandon Statton, yep. Up front, Jared Curry calls out that he's pitting in, but he's kind of blocked. Alan Berchuk very kindly leaves him room to go to the inside, and now that was very nice from Alan.
Christian Hilgard, Ty Quilla seem to be swapping positions up at the front now, trying to extend this run a little bit longer. So it is Quilla in the middle of an Nexus eSports sandwich. Hilgard and Burrell on first and third. Black flag with Sean Craig. Pit road, speeding penalty. Excuse me.
Oh.
You know, he was saying, I saw on another conversation on another Discord server that he was thinking about Kevin Burrell, black flag. Oh, and he's missing a front wing.
Oh, man. Let's
see what happened. Does he clip his teammate? He gets into the side of his teammate. And that costs both of them time on pit road. The 13. That's not the 13 of Crash Neon. I'm not sure who that was. That Hilgard? That was Hilgard. He got into Hilgard.
Yeah, he tried breaking way too late, goes into the grass, and then hits Hilgard.
But when we saw that earlier in the race, remember I said we don't want to see fratricide on pit road, and that's exactly what we saw. So a black flag for them, at least for Kevin Burrell. Alan Berteau on pit road. He's there for a very long stop. Very, very long stop for Berteau. I'm not sure why he's on pit road for that long, unless he was involved in that earlier incident.
No, Alan wasn't.
Robert Malechka now will pick up the lead when he comes around. Berteau still there, and he had some sort of penalty. I don't know what it was. So disaster for the entire Nexus eSports squad on that entire pit stint.
That's how you can call it.
Robert Malechka now picks up the lead. Jesper Dahlgren moves up to second, and they have themselves a huge gap. Back to Ty Quilla in third. Then there's Andy Kirchenbauer looking low under Ty Quilla, trying to get a position from the black and silver, and right behind the black and silver is Jared Curry.
Hey, we got a breakaway, boys. Robert Malechka and Jesper Dahlgren, we saw how effective they were on their pit entry. Well, they're first and second. But the thing is, Ty Quilla, who's running third, is now 2.5 seconds behind him. And that's this entire group. Indy Kirchenbauer, now they're going to try and swap to see if they can catch up. Jared Curry, Sophie Connell, Alan Berteau, who's still on this group, and Esteban Rodriguez. So, yeah, that took out of contention, at least for now, both Kevin Burrell and Christian Hildgaard. Hildgaard was having a spectacular race, and he's going to be one of the first to tell you that, he's not good at ovals and yada yada.
Yeah.
That's a lie. He's great.
That's called minimizing expectations.
But let's see. Right now, I don't see that these guys swapping are making any time on Rob and Jesper.
So I'm not quite sure what happened to Alan Berteau. I'm showing a normal pit stop. He was on pit road for 36.2 seconds, in the box for 9.3. I don't know if we just overreacted or it just seemed longer than what it was, but he's in 6th spot. So he's not as damaged in terms of performance on the racetrack as his teammates are. Because if you look down the order, there's Hildgaard in 22nd. There he is, right there. And Kevin Burrell. This is disastrous. I mean, I don't think he's going to get that top split win today, boys. I mean, this is going to be a monumental comeback. He's 2 laps down. It's possible if we get some caution here, but he is back in 25th position.
Ouch. Yeah, I don't think so. But again, he's due. He will get one eventually. As Rob Maleshka went purple, I think 2 laps ago. Wow, 23.6. I'm sure you have it on speed there.
Yeah, it is a 202.3. So I said we would get to the 202s. Maybe we see the 203s.
I mean, that would not surprise me at all.
So in case you're wondering, and it is about that time, we have not got there yet, and now I think it's a good time to transition. And I'll talk about Rashad here in just about. I had a thought on him, but it is history time. Here we go, history lesson time. There you see, we raced here 8 times from 01 to 08, and in a bit of a surprise, the IndyCar returned back in 2024 to replace the awful Nashville street course meme race in the final race of the 2024 season. The track record held by Gilles de Ferran with a speed of 206. So obviously with the older cars, they had much more downforce. They were kind of more purpose-built for ovals, so they were much faster, 206.5. Your career wins leaders here, Buddy Lazier won a couple races here. Alex Barron, Gilles de Ferran, Tony Kanaan, Dario Franchitti, Colton Herta, Joseph Newgarden, each have 1 victory. Scott Dixon is your king of Nashville with 3 wins, all consecutive from 2006 to 2008. And outside of Dixon, Nashville has not produced very many repeat winners, with 7 different winners visiting Victory Lane and 9 different racers. And of course, Joseph Newgarden won last year when in his hometown when the Real IndyCar Series came here. And another interesting stat that I found that mirrors kind of what we see here in the on the sim world outside of the real world, but we're not seeing that today, considering where Robert Maleshka is the leader. Every winner at Nashville in the Real IndyCar Series started inside the top 10. And really, up until kind of today, that has been the case for the IIS. But Robert Maleshka does what Robert Maleshka normally does. Up 19 spots, guys, to be in our leader right now, as we are now at lap 120.
That, not surprising at all. Jesper is up, what, also 19, 18?
He is up 20. He started right next to
20.
Jesper, basically, yes. Indy Kirchenbauer up 14. The only driver in the top 5 that started in the top 5. There's 2 of them, actually, and that's Quilla and Berteau. Excuse me, Quilla did not start in the top 5. He started in 8th. So the only driver to start in the top 5 that remained in the top 5 is Berteau right now. There is Alan right there. Remember, Alan is the defending winner here from a season ago. That was the season ender last year. This year, it's going to be Laguna Seca. So, Ryan, anything that you're seeing? I mean, no surprise, Robert Maleshka being the leader. No surprise, Jesper Dahlgren right behind him. Those two have raced each other many, many times. Indy Kirchenbauer doing a pretty good job in an open setup race. He's currently 3rd, Ty Quilla 4th. Alan Berteau 5th. Anybody else you want to shout out here in the top 10? Iker Vega having himself a good race as well.
Yeah, I was just looking throughout the field, and there's so many names that. First of all, the names that I'm kind of surprised with that slipped up and they had issues with Burrell and Hildgaard. I mean, I know they're probably on Discord or wherever they used to communicate, but I think Yeah, I'm very surprised that they've had that slip up in an incident because yeah, normally they're very orchestrated. I guess is the word I could say. But a driver I would love to give a shout out to is probably Sophia Cornell at the moment, and she's just having a great run at the moment, and yeah, just going about her business.
Oh, and a tight battle right in front of her. Esteban Rodriguez, Jared Curry. Somebody got a little squirrely there coming off a 4, but they caught it, and they are all in a line right now. This is Kirchenbauer on back to Connell, and slowly starting to creep back into this is Matt Taylor in 9th. So this is, you're looking at from 3rd to 9th right here all in your picture.
Yeah, this group is very unhappy right now. They're trying different things to see if they can catch up to the lead group, but remember when I said they were 2.5 seconds behind? Well, now make it 4 seconds, 4.2 seconds actually, behind the leaders. So yeah, they tried swapping, it wasn't working. Now somebody said, hey, try go fast. That's what we need. Truth of the matter is they have clean air. I mean, they should be able to at least keep pace, but they are being dropped.
Yeah, that group in front of them, of Malechka and Jesper, and I think Jesper is very happy, knowing how Jesper drives and how he thinks. He's very happy. He wants to beat Rob. I know that for a fact. But I think he's very happy just to run in second and just ride right back there at lap 128, coming to lap 130. Not even to the halfway point yet. He's very comfortable just to ride this out right now, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, 100%. That's probably the position that I would love to be in as well. Not necessarily leading, just minding my own business, being right within striking distance, and especially pulling away from the group behind. What else can you ask for? Because then you also get to save a little bit of fuel, so he can go maybe an overcut if he wants to. Although I imagine he will try to pit in at the same time as Rob.
And speaking of Rob, let's go back to 18th position, Rob Uglinix. And I shouted him out early because I was pulling up his stats from his pretty accomplished career in the Indy Fixed and Indy Oval side of things. This is how he ranks. He ranks 5th all-time in laps completed, 11th all-time in starts, 12th all-time in top 10 finishes, and that's in the Fixed Oval Series, mind you. He is tied for 16th in the most top 5s in that series and that lineage as well. 25th all-time in laps led, 30th in podium, and he does have 4 wins to his name, which puts him 38th on the all-time list. So Uncle Rob making an appearance, but almost, Grandpa Rob now, a little bit of contact with the inside of Crash Neon, and then we're going to go caution now. Oh, no.
Oh.
As I'm hyping him up with his stats, and he makes contacts with Crash Neon. And also involved there, I think that is Christopher Block as an innocent victim.
Well, you just jinxed it, Gary.
I did, but we were due a caution anyways, but there we go. Oh, my goodness.
And that's probably the only thing that Rob and Jesper didn't really want to see.
Yeah.
They were pulling away.
Both Robs.
Yeah.
Uglinix and Malechka.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. Also Rob and Glinix.
Yeah, I was going to say if you're Malechka or Dahlgren or anyone that's running up at the front, it's probably not the thing that you want when it comes to the pit strategy. But I guess if you're further back in the field, and basically you're kind of not in contention or not up where you want to be, I guess this gives you a chance to try something different with the strategy. As I say that, we've got a load of cars on the pit road.
Well, let's put yourself in one of these driver's seats. Malechka, Dahlgren are 28 laps into the stint, so they're past the halfway of, we've been talking about 50-lap stints, Ryan. So I'm going to think at this point, someone is going to stay out there, pick up some track position, and hope for another caution and cycle themselves forward somehow. Alan Berteau, I think everyone's come to pit road, so I don't think anyone's playing games. I think everyone's coming to pit road.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think so. Especially after being maybe 30-something laps in that stint, the tires wouldn't last, and you would just come to pit road pretty much immediately. So the sensible thing is to pit, although this will help a lot of guys that were trapped a lap down. Maybe some of them will, gamble and stay out and hope for a quick caution. Who it really saves, though, is the likes of Kyle Glenworth, Matt Hollibaugh, J.D. Smeaton, who were like 18 to 20 seconds behind the leaders. They were, getting at risk of being lapped. So now that brings them back into the fray on, same conditions basically. So now we're going to have a very large group up front.
Yeah, that's going to really change things up now. Is really the next pit window is right around lap 180 or so. So that's going to change things up. If you're just joining us, you're watching round 12 of the 2026 IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split presented by 4D Racewear from NASHVILLE Super Speedway. We've now completed 133 out of 300 laps. Currently your leader, to nobody's surprise, is Robert Malechka. Jesper Dahlgren second, Ty Quilla third, Indy Kirchenbauer in fourth, and Alan Berteau, who I don't think was having a bad pit stop. I think it was just everybody else in Nexus eSports was having a bad pit stops. I think he's okay, is in fifth. Today's coverage sponsored by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the stream description. Next race for us here on the channel will be this Sunday, Season 10, if you believe it, if you follow along at home. Season 10 of the Dark Horse Racing Series and their DW12s. They return for their 10th season, the longest running DW12 season, DW12 league actually, on all of iRacing. 8 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday from Auto Club Speedway. I mean, myself and the Catalyst, Andrew Wood, in the booth. So you don't want to miss that for Season 10. And don't forget Formula Indy Series returns Wednesday on the 22nd at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time for the Pasta 201K, presented by Jay Selman's Motorsports Art from Imola. We're back green flag racing. Malechka, Dahlgren, Quilla, Kirchenbauer, and Berteau after that little bit of our first caution break.
Yeah, and that also brought Brandon Saddon, Polyakov, Schlotterbeck, Musselman, Green, Wallat, and Hutchinson back into the lead lap. They are going to be hoping for a caution. But even if they don't get one immediately, I imagine that most of our lead group will try and save a little bit of fuel. We are not that far away to make it. Like, if you can extend each team by 4-5 laps, which is entirely doable, this was a pit stop at lap 150, just a little bit early.
Well, let me ask you, as someone that drove in the Fixed Series race on Tuesday, where do you save fuel here? Obviously, you're going to dial down the engine map, of course. How much lifting do you do? In the corner, before the corner? What do you do?
Just before the corner. That's typically when I will, lift up the throttle, let it just slide a little bit, and then go progressively on to the throttle again, like not being aggressive, just trying to save fuel, trying to stay consistent, and it helps a lot whenever you're in the draft. You get pulled from the cars behind. If you're super close, then you can also just go maybe 75%, 60% on throttle on the backstretch. That also helps save a ton of fuel. So there are many ways, especially in a pack race.
We'll ride with the Prodigy, as he is currently in fourth, and I don't really hear him lifting that much.
I don't think he is.
That's not his MO, though. The Prodigy likes the full send it. It's 100% or nothing. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Let's ride with Jesper, see if he's doing anything different. Nope. Drops a gear.
Yeah, there's a tiny lift there. But, I mean, maybe they don't need to save a lot.
It could be more just a lift to save. It's just like, well, I don't need to get any closer to Rob because I'm not going to pass him. Any closer I get, it's just arrow wash for me. Let Rob do all the work, and all the while, Rob, I don't know what Rob's thinking necessarily. I'm sure he likes leading, but he probably doesn't like being used for fuel mileage. I mean, if you're going to use me like that, at least take me to dinner first or something, you know what I
mean? The other thing is passing the leader, and especially if they know what they're doing, is very difficult here. So keeping the lead is typically very important at this place. Maybe not right now, because we're not even halfway. We're 7 laps away from halfway, but yeah, towards the end of the race, passing the leader is going to be a very, very tall order.
We watch the nose of Jesper Dahlgren dancing around the front stretch as they dive out in the 1.
Matt Hollywood making a move on Iker Vega. No, Kevin Burrell is also making a move.
And Burrell just trying to salvage the day now. Lindy kind of trying to salvage the day as well.
Oh, that was extremely close.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a hip check on Vega from Burrell. That allows Clandy to move on by.
You look over the Robbie Gordon cam of Kyle Clinworth. Clindy trying to get himself another Oval Series championship this season to give him his 3rd career. Got 2, so he's looking to add to that total, as well as a number of league titles. He's a little bit more energized this season. And let's talk about the long grind. We're now in the dog days of summer, both of you. First, I'll start with you, Tony, and then I'll talk with you, Ryan, about this. Ryan has a little bit of lighter schedule, but still, I know everyone kind of, their first quarter of the year in IndyCar, if you're doing IndyCar here on iRacing, everything kind of leads up to May and the 500s, whether fixed or open. And you put so much time in, including doing a number of races that, again, I call scrimmages, live fire exercises. So you put in thousands of laps, right? Thousands and thousands of laps, not just at Indianapolis, just in the car in general. And then when Indianapolis is done, and maybe you run multiple 500s that weekend, but still, Indianapolis is done, you've kind of had the feel of this car, and mentally you're kind of drained. What do you do, starting with you, Tony, and then on to you, Ryan? Because we heard it from Clindy. He was mentally spent and just really needed some time away. And then he came back, and he's very refreshed right now, and obviously doing very, very well in the Oval Series on the Points Championship. But what do you guys do to kind of refresh yourself after all of that lead up to the 500? Because that's right in the middle of the season, and you still have another half the year to do.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of time. As there we see Kevin Burrell making a move on Dahlgren. Yeah, he's trying to. No, sorry, that's Christian Hildgaard trying to get a lap back. He's probably gonna do it here on Rob Maleshka. But as to your question, yeah, I was also spent. Like I didn't want to see Indianapolis again. There was a votive race actually, just a tiny bit after the 500, and I was originally planned to participate in that, but I had to tell Shane Cocker that, hey man, I'm sorry, but I just cannot do it. Like that, I'm beat. As Hildgaard makes it by Rob Maleshka, gets his lap back.
Tail end of the lead lap now.
That's also going to help him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's also going to help Rob on the field mileage. But yeah, the second half of the year, I have not really been driving that much, honestly. So, but yeah, I feel much better. I feel much more at ease right now, especially because after, the first months of the year, they're grueling, and you are, constantly practicing and trying to make something happen. But yeah, I have been actually a little bit away from the sim. The World Cup I have to thank the World Cup for that as well. I have been watching all the matches.
You soccer countries, you too, Ryan.
Yeah.
So yeah, to answer your question as well, Gary, not that I race around the 500 as such, but I did go through a phase of where I won the major series Indy 500 back in, let me check,
the dark times, 23, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2023. Yeah, 2023, I believe, as I just quickly checked my replica milk bottle for the year. But yeah, to go answer your question as well, I think I put in so much effort for that race because obviously Indy is one of those tracks that I could race around all day. So I put in as much practice as I could just to be not to be like quick, but just to be more familiar with the track and get the car set up to how I want it. And yeah, I put in a lot of time testing, trying different setup changes, and yeah, just doing long runs just to, because I find if I do long runs, I seem to be a lot more consistent. So done that, and just by the end of the month or the end of the race week, in my case, I was absolutely spent, and it's one of those things as well that you put in so much effort, and then afterwards, even if you do well, you just feel, I guess, mentally drained is probably the best way I could describe it, just because it's just one of those races that I wanted to do so well.
And I think it also matters how you do in the races, right? Like my 500Cs here, they were horrible. I was, collected in incidents, none of my doing, nowhere to go to, and that's also something that is like, man, you put so much effort and then you get derailed by something out of your control. It's racing, it happens, but it also makes it like that effort was a little bit in vain. So yeah, you end up being a little bit more drained after not being successful, right?
And if you're in chat, you kind of suffered that a little bit of fatigue as well. Tell us what you do to kind of overcome fatigue, to get back into the spirit of racing. But that's a good transition to now this current point, as everybody's in single file line. And to me, when I start seeing this now in an IndyCar race, this is kind of telling me everybody's fuel saving. Nobody wants to leave. Oh, we have an incident, kind of an incident coming off the corner there. Rashad Craig, I think they all piled up behind him, but they lit him on by. I think it was Rashad Craig. I could be wrong there, but everyone kind of riding in line right now. Oh, wait a minute. It might have been. Sorry, it might have been Jason Green. They're in two similar looking cars.
Yeah, it was Jason Green.
Sorry, Rashad. Although Rashad did mention, and I was getting ready to say earlier, right when he got his black flag, that he was thinking about maybe getting to another livery, because we always know him with the black and green. And you know how I feel about green on Indy cars, or just green in racing in general. There's only one God-approved green for racing, and that's British racing green. And any other racing green or any other shade of green really is considered bad luck. So I don't want to say Rashad had bad luck today. He's a winner earlier this season at the biggest race of them all, Indianapolis. But, maybe a change warranted. I don't know. But let's talk about what we're seeing on the racetrack right now. A lot of single file. I think a lot of people not wanting to pull out and lead, just on to save fuel right now. I think it goes back to what you were saying a little bit earlier, Tony. They're trying to save some fuel right now.
I do think so. I think they're trying to make all of it work. As we see, who is that? Crashing
on the inside, yep. Just lifting and coasting, letting those drivers on by. That's got to be frustrating right now.
Yeah. Oh.
And we've talked about it. You've talked about it. Ryan's talked about it, how this racetrack looks like it's wide. Looks like there's plenty of wide. You can fit 4 Indy cars wide here. Yeah, but you can't really race Indy cars 4 wide here. And so even 2 wide, it gets pretty narrow here. And he's just trying to find a place to hide right now on an oval, a super speedway. And again, super speedway in name only. This is a 1.33 mile oval. It's not even what I would classify as the intermediate track along the lines of a Kansas or Chicagoland or even Charlotte or Texas. It's smaller than that.
Oh, there was an incident. We didn't get a caution. Jason Wallat and
Rashad Craig, Wayne Hutchinson.
Rashad was coming to the pits. He called it. Nobody listened. He got run over. Luckily, he was towards the back.
Oh, no. And there you see. Yeah, we'll go back and watch Rashad Craig. You said he called it. Let's watch it from the blimp here. And again, this would probably not be a problem if we could pit off of 3 on that entry road down on the bottom here. If we could use this, that wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, just drivers. That is a race awareness thing, and that's what happens when you're in a long race like this. you lose focus and just kind of start focusing on what's in front of you, and you just run into it sometimes, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm really surprised that did not bring out a caution.
The only reason it didn't was they were towards the back of the pack, so nobody behind them. And Jason Wallat's car kept going straight at a decent amount of speed, so that's why it didn't get one. But man,
and it's very good etiquette of them to get out of the racetrack and reset immediately, and they all did that, and that keeps us green. If this was real IndyCar racing, that would be a caution. But we are still green flag, and Christian Hilgard's still trying to stay on the lead lap. And I think in that mix-up up front there, Kevin Burrell now has got a lap back, so he is now 1 lap down, and we're not too far. We're only 20 laps past halfway now. They still have time that if things can work out, they can get back on the lead lap, or certainly Burrell can. Christian Hilgard he'd love to see a caution right now.
Right. The only thing is that they need to bank on cautions, because right now they're spending all the fuel in the world trying to get it back. And if there are no cautions, well, they're going to be off sequence, and they will need to pit. They're going to need to pit one more time than the leaders. So, but of course, you have to try whatever gives you an opportunity to to maybe get back into it. But yeah, right now Hilgard is on the lead lap.
Let me ask you both, since you're both. We'll transition here to soccer, because this is the big championship weekend here, the World Cup, and we talked a little bit about it in our other broadcasts leading into this one. How much does that third place game really matter in the grand scheme of things? Like, the NCAA used to have a third place basketball game for the basketball tournament. They stopped playing because it just doesn't matter. Why do they still play in that third place game? Is it just a money grab for FIFA?
Everything's a money grab for FIFA. That's just first and foremost.
I mean, how much pride does England take out of this? We're number 3. We're number 3. I can't imagine too much.
They probably should, because they haven't really done good in 60 years. But they say that they don't care, which, I don't know. I've seen some great matches. It really depends on who is showing up. Like last World Cup, it was Morocco, and to them it was a huge deal.
Okay,
they weren't able to
that
get
was
it,
a big deal for both those teams. I can see that. Yeah.
So Rob Maleshka is pitting right now.
And we heard him on your radio. He was yelling it out. He does not want to get run over. He does not want to get run over. He's trying to be very clear about that. I am coming to pit road. Don't reel me over. Oh, here comes Jesper. Oh, Jesper bangs wheels to the inside. He goes to the grass. He straightens it out, but is that going to be a penalty? It's going to cost him time.
It's going to cost him time, but I don't think it's going to be a penalty. He had all 4 tires inside the cones.
Oh, he slides into his box sideways, but he still hits some marks and he goes up on the jacks.
I don't see any black flag here.
I don't see one either. Let's see if there's anything when he comes off of pit road. Clindy, he's had his pit road woes. He's on pit road right now for his, I think this is his 4th stop for everybody today here. We watch them come to pit road. Ryan, what do you think about this third place game? Is it does it really mean anything?
I was actually discussing this with someone at the place where I worked. So yeah, it's funny that you mentioned, you bring that question up. For me, it's a difficult one to answer. Obviously, I'm not an England supporter, but. But is a third place game that much of a big deal? In my mind, it's not really a big deal. I mean, I guess the only thing England and France will be playing for third place is probably a bit of pride.
It's a lot to do about pride, I think. Actually, I'm right now with my France jersey, because I'm pulling for France, of course. So I think it matters, and it's also a place to show off the spectacle. Sometimes those third place matches are very, very fun because there is no pressure, right?
We do have a Frenchman in the race. There's Alain Berteau right there. He's going to have be very interested. Of course, later this weekend, we know Alex Palou is going to be very interested in the championship game. Yeah. Argentina. And Yukos, who owns Yukos Hollinger Racing, is an Argentinian. Of course, remember, our Augie Canapino drove for him.
Right.
Argentinian driver.
All right, so looks like Jesper has been able to find Kyle Kleinworth. They're trying to swap the lead, or
he fell back to Clindy. He fell back to Clindy because Clindy came on the pit road at the same time. Clindy had a very effective pit road entry and exit, and now he's able to get with Jesper. But man, that cost him big time because Robert is considerably up the road. I don't know if we could see from the blimp shot from the P1 airship, but there's Robert, and Kirchenbauer is between them, so Kirchenbauer is able to capitalize on that one. And then there's Jesper just now coming off a 4.
Yeah, that should help Jesper.
I really think, and here comes Hollenball off the pit road, I really think that might be an American way of thinking, that if first and second is all that matters, third place is just, it's almost like a participation trophy. Even if you look at the Indy 500, right? Every other IndyCar race, every other race, there is the podium celebration, right? Not Indianapolis.
Right, but that one is different.
Oh, contact off the corner, a big wreck. We just saw it, and that is Anton Pokolov, and it is a huge pileup coming off the corner. That was coming to pit road, and we have at least 6 cars involved.
It's Robin Glenix.
I said to myself, I don't want to.
And we hear the radio in the background, so let's see what happened. Coming to pit road, it is one of the Nexus eSports cars coming to pit road. And Anton comes into Glenix comes into it. Another one of the Nexus eSports cars. So, Jared Curry's involved.
Exactly.
But it's the same thing, man.
Slaughterback is involved here as we'll watch from each one of these drivers. Same thing. Continue. Go with your thought. We'll do these replays.
Kevin Burrell called out in the voice chat, "Hey, I'm pinning this lap." And Anton didn't he didn't lift. I mean, he just went right into the back of him, and that's what started this whole melee.
And wow, I gotta think that maybe there was a 1X or a 0X on Alan Berteau, who just dodged a huge bullet there. He was on the outside of this entire mess. This is all happening in Ty Quilla's rearview mirror.
It also took JT Smeaton.
JT Smeaton, Sophie Connell, big wreck coming off of 4 here as we were watching for the P1 airship during that little bit. Let's go back to more ground level, and again we'll watch from JT Smeaton, another one of the Nexus eSports cars. It's going to be a Nexus eSports graveyard of cars on this one. They just took out way too many. Eicher down low, Taylor down low, Stanton down low. Curry's into it. Yep, we see Curry. Not sure how damaged he is, but he's involved. Jason Green involved. And this comes down to also, Curry's staying on the racetrack. Now he's on pit road on getting repairs, and so is Smeaton. So they stayed out, we just waited for the field to collect before coming to pit road. But this comes back to what I was talking about earlier, that this configuration, it's only one configuration of Nashville, meaning whatever you race here on the oval, you could come off a turn 3 and 4, or just come off a turn 4 to pit. Stock cars, when they come here, come off a turn 4, right? And they're slower, and they can do that. And they're also bigger, and they can bang into each other, and they're not going to really ruin each other's day. Indy cars in the real world are pitting going into 3 on the backstretch, using this road down here. This is turns 1 and 2, but they're using this. This is the pit out road here. But when we watch the camera as they go into turn 4, you'll see the pit road again reappear, and that's what they're really using in real IndyCar racing. Should iRacing have an open wheel configuration here like they do for Homestead?
Yes. Short answer is yes. But on the other hand, we also need to be more aware of what's going on in the racetrack.
Well, I mean,
especially.
You're right. You're right. And you heard Rob say, pit, 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 pit. I'm coming to pit road. And he yelled it out. And Kevin was doing, I'm guessing, the same thing. And you could also spam a button on your wheel. We're getting ready to go back to racing here.
Oh, Christian Gilbert's got a black flag. He was now back on the lead lap, but he has a black flag. I'm not sure why.
And yeah, he's going to have to cut. He maybe passed somebody under caution and he didn't know about it. That's about the only thing I can think of. And that's insult to injury right there. That's salt in the wound.
Oh, Rob also got a black flag.
Rob got a black flag, and he's going to have to answer to the devil as well. And again, this is another one of these auto stewarding things that we could do nothing about in iRacing. You just have to answer the call. If this was a league race and had a human steward, we would be able to reverse these, or at least there'll be justification to reverse these. We're not quite sure. But again, all I can think of it was possibly passing under caution.
No, I have no idea how he got a black flag. He was fine, comes to the green. Jason Green stays to the outside, so he has to come pass him on the inside. But he did it after passing the start-finish line, so I don't really understand it.
So it sounds like some unhappy drivers whispering on the radio.
No, that was Matt Holliday saying that, that's BS, and I agree with him.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate, especially in a race this long, as Robert Malechka coming to pit road. Very hot, and I don't blame him.
Yeah,
he is a winner earlier this season at Phoenix, and he was looking at a second win this season, and that is going to be a 40-second. That is a stop and go. That is just a stop and go on pit road, so it's not a 40-second hold. Hilgard on pit road still. I'm not sure if he's just decided to.
No, he got a 1-minute penalty for passing the pace car after a wave around. So there were certainly a couple of weird issues happening there.
It's also one of those things that part of the field was past the start-finish line, the other part of the field was not past the start-finish line. We've seen that happen before in iRacing. And sometimes the auto stewarding bot just like goes nuts. Well, let's go back to the beginning of the race. Matt Taylor is now your leader.
Yeah.
Robert Malechka still being shown a black flag. Speeding to pit road this time.
I don't even know why. I don't know why. It looks like iRacing just doesn't want him to win. I mean, that's so weird. There he comes again to answer the second. That's apparently a drive-through now.
Yeah, this is where I'd very much like to see an open wheel configuration here added to iRacing so we can use that road. I mean, you scanned it. It can be used. Let's use it. I know some leagues use it to come to pit road. You have to pit off of 4, I believe. Velocity used it. I believe Elite possibly used it in the past. So I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but I know more than that have. Maybe that would be an additional configuration that iRacing would have to add. So I don't know what type of work it would be, but that would be nice to see. But again, it goes back to they were spamming the radio. There's also a button you could spam, a radio button in chat that says pit, 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 and you just spam chat that says I'm pitting, I'm pitting, I'm pitting, I'm pitting. And I've done that before too. But from both of your guys' point of view, Ryan, has that ever happened to you? And you could do everything you could do, but still, if the person behind you is not paying attention, it's all for nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those things. Obviously, I've got a voice chat button enabled for letting people know that I'm going to pit. But like you say, Gary, I've also got a button assigned for letting people know I'm pitting on the text chat, just in case that no one, maybe someone's not using voice chat or they've got it muted or disabled. So I've always got the text notification set up on the button as a backup. So, but you can do all the things in the world to make people aware, but sometimes it's just one of those things that whoever's behind you, if they're really close behind you, they maybe don't get the message, or they're maybe just focused on the car in front of them, and basically they just don't have enough time to react.
Yeah, Tony, same question for you, and you kind of expect more out of your fellow driver also in a top split race.
Yes. 100%. I mean, I think it's inexcusable because even if you have your voice chat disabled, you have your chat disabled because it distracts you, whatever. Okay, if you do that, that's your prerogative and that's totally fine. You need to be aware of what's going on. And most of these guys, and we all kind of do it, we will jump to the inside very aggressively to showcase that, hey, I'm going to pay it next time by, especially on the backstretch. So there is a body language or car language that you can also take a hint at. I think running into the back of somebody is inexcusable. I have been run over behind the other part of the question. It happens. And sometimes it's just because of a difference between, your braking markers. Some guys will try and brake a little bit later. Some guys will do it earlier, and that's more of a racing incident. But if you're just, I think it's more of a paying attention or not paying attention kind of deal in this particular scenario, which, it's unfortunate. I think that, all these guys in this pitch should know better.
And some pretty strong opinions in chat. Jason Brophy there thought it was a stop and go. Yeah, it was. Maybe saying Robert thought it was a stop and go. I don't know. Yeah, just very unfortunate. All that had to happen, and then the after effects of that with the additional black flags have really changed the outcome of this race up. Your leader is Matt Taylor, who, well, he was here for the first 50 laps and pretty much controlled the first 50 laps. And then after that first pit stop, kind of fell to the mid-pack. And now with a little bit of attrition, we started with 26 cars. We're down to 16 now running. He is picked up track position and is now your leader. Ty Quilla, who's been pretty much up in the top 5 all day, is currently second. And again, doing much like we saw his teammate, Jesper Dahlgren, doing with Robert Malechka, just kind of riding behind second, riding us out. I mean, we still have just under 100 laps to go here. We still have a lot of racing. Andy Kirchenbauer is in third, Esteban Rodriguez is in fourth, and Alan Berteau is in fifth. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I was just saying, we still have a long ways to go, but to echo your sentiment, Ty has been doing a great job, has been pretty much the consistent factor in the top 5 the entire race, and he was able to really dodge that and he mentioned it in chat or in voice chat. He said, I didn't want to be in front of Anton once he needed to pit. So, and he purposely was on the outside. Also an interesting thing, an interesting read from him as Matt Taylor is pitting.
Now, look, I don't want to be too rough on Anton because I have made some stupid mistakes in iRacing in my time. I have made some very dumb mistakes, and I want to say his mistake was too. I want to say I've made some dumb mistakes that I'm calling dumb mistakes. Whale of a tales of my own. So it happens, and we see it in real IndyCar racing all the time. And I mean, even the best of the best, as we see drivers coming to pit road, make mistakes all the time. Let me go back to Scott Dixon, the second winningest IndyCar driver of all time, was en route to his second ever Indy 500 win, and speed's coming to pit road. It happens. Yeah. It happens.
J.R. Hildebrand.
I don't want to. Yeah, J.R. Hildebrand. he is a half a mile away from going down in history as an Indy 500 mile win and smacks the wall coming off of turn 4. It happens. And so I don't want to be too rough on him, but I can see where people are coming from, and you do everything you can to yell things out, and it's a long race, and this is a hard racetrack. We talked about that a number of times. You have your hands full in these cars. You're not just pushing down on your right foot and turning left. It's you're shifting gears, you're adjusting your tools, you're adjusting your weight jacker, you're coming off the throttle, you're touching the brake a little bit. There's so much going on that one little drop of concentration, and bam, that's what happens.
Yeah,
Jesper Dahlgren, black flag coming to pit road.
That's just got.
It is all falling apart for all the top drivers right now. Here in this top split, in this round of this stint, and that's going to be a 40-second hold for Jesper. So he effectively now, his day might be done. Indy Kirchenbauer, he is still leading. The prodigy, Ty Quilla, is in second. Esteban Rodriguez, who has, at the start of this race, he was in the mid-pack, guys. He was doing nothing. He is now third. Clindy is now fourth. Clindy, remember, he spun out at his very first pit stop. And what did I say? The only good thing about that is it still had 250 laps to go at that point.
Yes, 100%. I mean, you have to stay in it, right? And if you have an incident or a mistake in the first part of the race, it's typically something that you can maybe do later, as Clendy is now moving up to third. Making a move on Esteban Rodriguez. He's able to complete it here. And these guys can still go another 10 laps if they want.
And here comes Matt Hollenball. Remember, Matt at one point was struggling mightily in this race, and he is back up into the thick of things. And while we're here, and I know we're going through some pit stops for some of these drivers, so we're kind of in the middle. We got different strategies going on out there. Let's shout out Christopher Block, who along with Sophie Connell, has done some yard work on the front straight for this race. He is up to 8th right now, and he is 1 lap down. He's the first car 1 lap down, but he has worked his way into the top 10. So, again, not giving up. Don't give up. Whatever you do, just like Galaxy Quest, never give up, never surrender.
Plenty to the lead, by the way. He just made a move on Indy Kirchenbauer. Kirchenbauer takes it back.
They're trying to work together.
Brandon Statham,
black flag, and that might be coming off of pit road. I think he's
trying to swap the lead here, Clendy and Kirchenbauer.
Is he in what's this car sponsor? Is it TWA? Yeah, TWA. Oh, he's going to spin out. Oh, he catches it. Yeah, you don't want to wreck the TWA car. You don't want to see any more TWA wrecks, even though they're not in business. I'd like to see the aviation throwback there. With Sears, I think, across the nose. Talk about old school sponsors there. I think all the Sears near me are now closed. Maybe the one still at the mall still is there. I remember back in the day that's if you wanted the best tools, it was always and Craftsman now sponsors the Truck Series, right? And that's how I've always known the Truck Series is the Craftsman Truck. But back in the day, the best hand tools, always Craftsman. They had that lifetime guarantee. I remember old guys would bring in a wrench or something that was 50 years old, and they would bring it into a Sears, and they could get a new one.
Huh. Well, they build things to last.
I don't know who has the Craftsman license now, but I think it's sold at other stores. I don't think it has a lifetime guarantee on it still. Maybe they do. Shout it out in the chat if you're a Craftsman tool fan. That's my preferred tool when I would go out and buy tools, would be the Craftsman tool. But, man, Sears.
Purple lap for Rob Maleska. He's still in the top 10. I mean,
Matt Hollenball goes purple lap. 202.8.
I think we might get that 203 that you mentioned. All right, so interesting. Matt Taylor went to pit on lap 202. So he didn't need to.
But it gets him to 250, and that'll be his last stop.
Exactly. He now is able to make it to 250. That's it. As Kirchenbauer spinning.
We see in the chat, Kevin says, I may have had a skill issue today. And that's when someone actually looks into the mirror at themselves and say, I made my own mistakes. And that is the best assessment a driver can ever have, is when they look back and they go, you know what, I did not have the perfect day. I did not make myself a better performance. Yes. Lindy at the lead now to the apron. Oh,
because if you pin it on somebody else, you
got to back it up with facts. You got to back it up with facts.
Right, but just be autocritical. Learn from your own mistakes. By the way, that's what I try and do.
And Lord knows I make enough of them, so I'm doing a lot of
no.
learning. I'm doing a lot of learning. Ty Quilla, Clindy, teammates, and then their technical teammate in the Alliance, Matt Hollenbaugh, in third spot right behind him. And then right behind them is Nexus eSports duo of Esteban Rodriguez and Alan Berteau in fourth and fifth. So two of the super teams are hooking up at the top of the pack right now.
Yeah, again, I keep going back to Matt Taylor because that's an interesting strategy. He's all alone in the racetrack, so I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to make any time on these guys. Like, I think they're gonna jump him.
We will ride with him and listen if he's doing any lifting. We're assuming he's running full rich. We know he's got some people in the on the trailer working for him right now. On the cart, so to speak, running data. Car smoking coming to pit road. Not sure who that is. That is Robert Malechka, so he's making a pit stop. But Matt Taylor probably has the likes of Christopher Demerit, maybe Alexis Newsom or Brendan Lichtengard.
Hyperstar. Yeah.
Yes, Lichtenberg. Excuse me. I confused him for a second with Hilgard. Brendan Lichtenberg, the hyperstar. That's going to cost me a beer at the Sim Gaming Expo, probably. Yeah, number of those guys work in the booth. They are good on that stuff. They are good at working data. So we'll see if they've working the data and have rolled the dice correctly here at Nashville Super Speedway, riding with Matt Taylor.
Matt Hollenbaugh just made his pit stop. He still will need to make another one. This is not his final one. I also want to give a shout out to Iker Vega. We have talked about him a little bit. He got hip checked at one point by Kevin Burrell. He's in the top 5, guys. He has been in the top 10 pretty much the entire race, and he has been hanging out with these big teams. Clindy, Taquila, Berteau, Rodriguez. They are all in bigger teams, and
he's
shout out to him.
Effectively a privateer. You can kind of tell some of these races who the privateers are when they bring the real world IndyCar livery. There's nothing against that. At least it's not a Formula One or NASCAR livery. That's all I have to say about that. But I like when you say his name because to me he's Iker Vega, and you say it with much more flair than I can.
Well, yeah, it's Iker.
Iker Vega.
Yeah, there you go. That's exciting.
All right. It's like when I have LGN on the in the booth for races, and we go to Mexico City. It's just I call it the Mexico City track, and he could say with all the flair and everything, and roll the R's and make it sound so professional, and I just welcome to Mexico City.
It's a mouthful. Autódromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Yeah.
See, there you go. My point exactly. Do you blame me, Ryan?
Yeah, I don't blame. I don't even attempt to pronounce the full name of foreign tracks because 100% of the time, or most of the time, there's a good chance I'll butcher it.
It's like when I got Imola coming up this week, and it's Autodromo, blah, 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 Imola, and I'm like, nah, it's just Imola. It's just Imola.
It's like Montreal, for example. Say, I can't remember the full name of it. It was a Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve or something.
Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Yes.
Yeah, I don't butcher it, but I can never get the pronunciation right because I know that French-speaking people can get it right, and I'm just sitting here
on
thinking,
the Ile of Notre Dame, which I'm in Indiana, so that's Notre Dame.
No, don't say that.
It's no Irish. Alan Berteau to the points.
The helmet is awesome. I gotta say that.
This is a Hoosier state now, and I mean, in real life it is a Hoosier state, but now it's the Indiana Hoosier state. They've jumped Notre Dame now, so.
Okay, fair. But still, that helmet that they have, all of it gold.
Actual gold leaf is painted on their helmet. It's like Ty is working with Alan Berteau and trying to put a little space between themselves and Iker.
Yeah, Iker was able to make a move on Rodriguez there, now up to third. we have kind of seen it time and time again that as the run goes, Rodriguez kind of fades a little bit, but we haven't seen that with Vega. And now getting a little bit of cleaner air towards the front with these guys, that's going to benefit him even further.
JT Smeaton checking in from the Infield Care Center. It's in chat. I can't comment on that. I can't comment on that. But yeah, obviously he's feeling very frustrated out there. And again, this is a marathon of a race, and yeah, that you would expect that those would happen maybe. And here comes Ty, and Ty's like, "I'm pitting, don't hit me. Hold your breath." Oh, okay. And this is not a final stop for him. He's going to have to do a splash and go towards the end,
unless they are able to, you know, if they get a caution, that then they're going to be golden. I don't think that you can do 72, 73 laps on a tank.
This is 64 to go. I mean, this is...
Or, I cannot count. 64. Yes, that's what I meant. So you can potentially do 64. It's very difficult, and you have to go very, very slowly. But, you know, it might be doable. Vega pitting.
Again, who can ever get closer to that 50 mark is going to be closer on making this on fuel without an extra stop.
Right now, I'm taking a look at Matt Taylor. He's working with Jesper Dahlgren. We know those two. Well, Jesper unfortunately got the speeding penalty, so he's out of the running. But if they're working together a little bit, that might help Taylor go a little bit faster. It's going to be very interesting to see where they blend in.
He was going to slide up and give him the old Brazilians clear in front of him off of 2, and he held it down low. He realizes Taylor is in 3rd position.
Yeah, and he's going to assume the lead here because Alan Berto is currently pitting.
Coming off a pit road right now, but there you go. There you see the pass for the lead. Rodriguez is still out there. He is 55 laps on his current stint.
That was a little bit of a block from Jesper. A little bit of a late move.
Let's see that again as we were watching on pit road when that happened. I think it came off a 2. So Jesper kind of slides on up. And then you see Matt using the banking to get a good run off the corner. And, you know, I don't... All right, I can't make a call on that. You and chat can make a call on that. It's possible he got loose off a 2 and went to the bottom, and it kind of looked like he threw a block. Yeah. I don't know.
Again, they were kind of working together, so I think that was.
We talked about this before, and I think even you talked about it during when you were here for the Oval Series. You got loose off a 2, and we saw it a number of times in that. I think in that race. So, Taylor loose off of 4.
That was on its own.
I'm wondering what we saw there with Jesper was loose off a 2. Let's ride with let's ride with Taylor so we can watch Jesper. It's not. I don't know Jesper to block, so that's what I'm thinking. It was more of a handling snap. Oh, Matt Taylor coming to pit road, and this is a bit early, but he might have the numbers to do it.
Man, yeah, that seems awfully early. Final pit stop, we think. But if he's on clean air, he's not going to be able to make it.
Rateau went 56 laps. 56 is the most I've seen. We're at 58 to go.
Up down front, and away he goes.
Yep, up front, Iker Vega and Indy Kirchenbauer. IK versus IV.
Vega to the lead.
IK and IV. Those are Roman numerals right there. I have to look up what. IV is 4.
IV is 4, yeah.
I don't know what K is. Is it 1,000?
No, 1,000 is M. 500 is D. I don't know.
Well, we will ask AI. K is not a standard Roman numeral.
There we go.
So we can make it up.
Let's say that it's a million.
Million, okay.
So, so an I before. Okay, it's 1,999,999. There we go.
Clindy slides underneath Hollenbaugh, and the outlook of this race has really changed. I think everyone still needs to stop, and let me bring up on the let's see, stint length. This is the key thing. Stint length. Indy Kirchenbauer has 26 on this stint, and really anything inside of 50. Indy, Clindy goes down to the apron now to try to clear, and he goes to the lead. So kind of from the outhouse to the pit house goes Clindy. Early in the race with that issue on pit road, sideways and stopped, is now your leader. But he is 19 laps into the stint and is going to probably have to stop again as he slides up in front of Vega.
But here comes Vega back.
So Indy, anything south of 50, or anything, yeah, south of 50 or north of 50, or just on the small side of 50, let's put it that way, is probably good to go. But they're just going to have extremely worn tires at that point. Oof. Clindy not giving Eicher a lot of room. He is a clear lane off the bottom. He is like, nope, this is my racetrack.
The track has kind of cooled off a tiny bit, so I think that's going to help.
Conditions here. 93. So track tip last time we looked at this was 99. So track tip is down. This is going to help them really in this last stint to save these tires. They should last longer.
Yeah.
Clindy way up in the gray this time. I think maybe giving some extra room.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But you can also see it because now the guys are able to follow a little bit closer, and you don't see what we were seeing at the beginning of the race, where people that were following on the tire threads, if somebody else would just shoot up the racetrack, getting the car super tight. That's also because of the track temperature going down.
Hey, once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching P1's coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split presented by 4D Racewear, where currently Clindy is your leader as we're monitoring if they have to come to pit road. A lot of these drivers we think still have to come to pit road one more time. So make sure to like the stream, subscribe, and click the bell so you miss out on the next IIS race, which is in about 3 weeks. We go to Portland. We go do some G.I. Joe's racing.
I would say that Clindy last pit on 228, Indy Kirchenbauer last pit on 220, Holdenbaugh 225. They definitely need to pit again. I'm not so sure about Clindy. Vega, Vega pit on 237. Quilla 236 and Brichot 238 from this lead group. They might be able to save, and we can see that Quilla and Brichot, they're just minding their own business. They are.
Everyone's in line.
I can hear the engine a
fuel.
little bit. I think the engine right now for Brichot and Quilla is on map 5, and they must be throttling it a little bit.
Let's watch.
Not pushing.
Let's listen.
Oh yeah, there's a big lift there.
Downshifts to 5th. Again, very active on a lap here. It's just not planting your foot and turning left. We're changing gears. Down to 5th gear. A little bit of a run off the corner. He'll lift probably now going down the backstretch. We'll bring you up the driver inputs here. There you go. There's your lift. Oh, Eicher. I saw it from the point of view from Ty. .45 to go. Clindy taking a little defensive line down to the inside now. Makes me think there's a little bit more sense of urgency with 45 to go, but I still think Clindy's going to have to stop. Let's bring up the calculator. So 45. Clindy went what on his last stint? 53? He stopped at 228. Yeah. I mean, that's 20 laps short.
Yeah, they're short.
I mean, you can't just save that.
No.
So
no.
Okay, and I'm also starting to see here drivers that are used to driving with one another on Tuesday nights. And that's Clindy, Indy, Matt, and Ty, 3 of which are on the same team. And I know sometimes Indy occasionally loosely works with these guys. So I'm seeing them that just let Iker go, work on mileage, get to that last stop, and then decide it from there. I mean, is that plausible?
Yeah, 100%. However, Iker is the one that has the best, mileage of all of them. He's the one that pit 9 laps after Clindy. I don't think that that's enough either. So the ones that are sitting pretty, I think, are Ty and Ilan. Ty, Quila, and Alberto. That's, what's that? Oh, that's Malechka. Moving through the field.
Alberto at 239. Iger at 238. Those are last lap pits that we have up. Robert Malechka. A little bit of red haze. 203.1.
There's a 203. There it is.
That pays 0 points.
But it looks cool.
But it looks good. Yes, sure does.
Esteban Rodriguez getting lapped. Something must have happened to him, or is he trying to save? I think that's a damaged car. That's a damaged racer. Yep. Andy Kirkenbauer fading in. Last pits for him.
Richard Bauer coming off the banking, getting down to the very, very slow pit road speed limit of 40. I think it's 45 miles per hour here. And again,
yes.
New rules in iRacing with the pit road limiter, and it's much more strict. If the second you kind of go, it sounds like you've been burnt by it, and yeah, a lot of people don't like it. It used to be set and forget, but now you got to be a little bit more mindful. A lot more stricter rules for that pit road speed, and he is down and away. New set of tires and just enough Shell Racing fuel to get to the end. He is now done at 37 laps to go here at Nashville Super Speedway. Do we see Andy Kirchbauer get his first top split win? And this would come before his top split Oval Series win if he gets a win here today. So that'll be pretty big in an open setup race, no less. So as prestige goes, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. There's an adage, be the first to pit last. That's probably the first to pit last, other than Matt Taylor. I'm not sure he's going to be able to make it though. So Indy is in a prime position to get this one.
There's a lot of prestige in these IIS races, being that they're 100% length and open setup. Lindy now picks up the lead. But we expect Clindy to come to pit road anytime. Let me get the last pit lap off here and bring you back gaps to the leader. There you see, and again, I think everyone just riding this one out, just trying to get to their number when they know they have to come to pit road. Maybe catch a caution too, no less. 26 cars started this race. We're down to 16 still running. And if you are watching, yes, we are doing the full 300 laps that you will see the NTT IndyCar Series do tomorrow on Fox. Hopefully the World Cup game doesn't go too much to extra time. Man, I hate the way that's measured. That needs to be that all needs to be on the clock. That's the American in me talking about. What is this injury time? Yeah. What, it's arbitrary? I mean, it's not a set time. It could be 9 minutes. It could be 8 minutes. It could be what? I don't know. Yeah. The American in me hates that. It should hard set the time and count it down. Stop the clock if there's an injury.
Like, I agree with that, honestly, because then that way it would not allow them to do it. Don't waste time. Stop the clock. However, it would take forever to get it done, so I can also see the other side.
Well, we've seen like the last minute of NBA games before take about an hour to finish. So
yeah,
and they're
NFL. When you get to the 2-minute warning, that's like, okay, well, yeah, I still got like 30 minutes of game
all the timeouts and stopping the ball and spiking the ball to stop the clock. Baseball doesn't have that now. They have a pitch clock.
Oh, Vega pitting.
Vega coming to pit road. Final stop. So he might be trying to short fill this thing. This might not be a bad call.
No.
And you got to think about the maximum time in the stall. So it's about 5 seconds that put new tires on these cars. And can he take 5 seconds worth of fuel and be done? And that's call your. He's still up on the jacks. He's there 7 seconds. That was a long stop.
5 seconds is way too much of fuel. You don't need that much fuel. It's just a splash, basically.
Hearing more chatter for people coming to pit road in the background.
Yeah, Clinty spin.
Oh, Clinty stays out. An extra lap. He is using Robert this time to get a little extra mileage here at 28 to go. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Next IIS race for us is at Portland in a couple of weeks. Next race on the channel. It'll be Sunday night, excuse me. It will be the Dark Horse DW12 Series. Careful, boys! All off the corner. Oh, Matt Hollenbaugh. What a handle as he's still trying to catch an evil race car coming down off the banking with super hot tires and light tanks.
That was very close, but very, very good job by Matt to hold on to that. There goes Tyquila. Yeah, nobody was going to be able to save that much. It was crazy.
You know, there might be, Ryan, let me ask you this here. We've seen a couple of incidents now of people wrecking at people as they're coming to pit road. You think some of these drivers now are like, you know what, I just want to pit by myself?
Yeah, I think if I was me, I'd put, as Clinty has issues on the pit exit. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if that was a technical issue or if Clinty was maybe just
Clinty got loose. And he caught it. And another pit incident might cost him here. He got all of it back, and did he just give it away?
Oh, man. Yeah, he lost the position to Matt Hollenbaugh. But not only that, he lost a second to him.
Yeah, someone in chat says that it should really be mandatory to use the pit entry. But again, it's iRacing rules need to allow that. If iRacing rules say you don't have to use it, guess what? All these drivers are not going to use that pit entry. There'd have to be a gentleman's agreement going into the race that we all agree to use, and not everyone's listening, and not everyone needs to agree to that. So it needs to be an actual hard-coded rule in order to do it. So yeah, I see what you're saying. They should be using it, and it probably would have avoided a couple incidents this race. But I go back to the point that I was talking about, Ryan. It's like, man, if I know I'm coming to pit road one more time, I think I would come all alone by myself. Clinty, purple lap.
Yeah, and I think if you pit by yourself, it gives you a chance to get yourself. First of all, in the pit entry, you have a clear entry. There's no one in front of you, no one behind you, so you don't need to worry about that. And also, yeah, you're not being held up too much by other cars that might pit at the same time as you. So it's one of those things that you want to pit early, but sometimes you don't know if you might make on fuel. So sometimes some drivers like to try and stay out as long as possible, just to try and stretch it out, and they not, I guess, worry less about fuel towards the end of the race.
And Tony, speaking of staying out as long as possible. Last pit lap. Here we go. Alain Berteau, lap 239. He has a lap lead on the entire field right now. Caution falls. This is going to be his race then, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. He's just called that he's pitting in.
20 to go as he comes off the banking for the final time. The defending champion here from a season ago when we raced 220 laps. I have to look up. I forget the distance that we did last year. But yeah, we went to 300 laps this year, and I don't remember. It was originally scheduled for 200. So yeah, 2024 was 266 miles, 2025 was 300 miles, and this year is 400. So 200 laps, 225 laps, and then 300 laps. So Today's race is 75 laps longer than 2025, which is a third of a race increase, and 100 laps longer than the inaugural race, which is a 50% increase. So
let's see the blend.
Here's the blend as he comes back out, and I think Ty is going to nick him going into 3, and he does. He does. He comfortably clears him.
Right now, we still have Christopher Block there who hasn't pitted yet.
Block on 238.
Yeah, he should be coming in very soon. So realistically, it's Ty Quilla.
Oh,
then we have
banging wheels between Block and Jesper Dahlgren in front of one of the Nexus eSports squad, and I think that was Brutto that they banged wheels in front of. So a bit of a tight moment there for a Frenchman right in front of him.
Yeah, don't count out Vega. Here he comes.
Vega has 13-lap-old tires. Block does need to come to pit road. He is 46 laps into this stint. He went 54 last time, so he'll get to really close to about 10 to go, but he'll be forced to come to pit road. Good gamble, just not going to pay off today. Here we go to the inside, Alberto, looking to the inside of Ty Quilla, who has a little bit of a wingman there, and he just slides down in front of him, but he has the wingman in front of him, and Jesper Dahlgren, he might ask Jesper for a little bit of help. Jesper goes to the inside, tries to stay out of the way. It is Quilla and Brutto. Brutto, again, winner last year. Ty Quilla, he's had a very good week. He finished third on the Friday race, so he's had a very good week. Then behind them, Kirchenbauer and Vega. Kirchenbauer throws a little bit of a fade on Vega.
Yeah, moves in front of Vega. It's on, boys.
14 to go. And this time to the inside. Here comes Kirchenbauer. He goes to the inside. He's going to be right in the dirty air of Quilla. They're going to drag race down the backstretch, still side by side. A man that's very...
to the outside.
He slides by. Kirchenbauer, very accomplished on the ovals. Brutto, very accomplished on the open side of things, certainly on road courses. Finished on the podium here in the IIS a couple of last season. Looking to get another podium finish and another win at a racetrack where he got his only top split win so far here at Nashville. Side by side, Ty Quilla now with his teammate. Jesper fades to the high side, allows the leaders to go on by. Robert Malutska now up front. Robert currently is in 11th spot, 1 lap down. Man, can you imagine if this thing goes caution late somehow and he gets back on the lead lap? Oh.
I think he's 2 down, but
he is one lap down, but effectively he's 2 laps down because he's 1 lap down in front of the leader.
Right. Well, yeah, he's 1 down, so he wouldn't get back on the lead lap, but it would be funny.
There are no lucky dogs here, but like I said, and when we do league races, I don't mind the lucky dog in league races because it opens the door. Speaking of opens the door, so down low, as I think Robert's trying to stay out of the way, but there's just a lot of racing going on and so many lanes to choose from here. Ty follows him. I don't mind the lucky dog in league racing. Well, it's about the only NASCAR gimmick I like. Here comes Indy Kirchenbauer to the inside. Prodigy versus Frenchman outside, down the backstretch. Ty's going to favor the Prodigy to the inside a little bit. There, pulls him forward down the backstretch. Coming to 9 to go. And this goes back to when we call that Indy finish, Tony. It was looking like Ty's day, and it just didn't turn out to be Ty's day. Could today be Ty's day? As that battle between Kirchenbauer and Brutto get very close going into 1.
Yeah, he almost touched the wall there. Brutto did. Now Christopher Block comes in front of his group. He has pace. We saw it. And Ty is probably very happy that Brutto and Indy are fighting each other for P2.
And can Clindy and Hollenbaugh hook up efficiently enough to run this group down? We need to show you gaps between to the next car because Clindy is 2.3 now to Vega, and he is reeling him in.
I think they're too far away.
Too far away and not enough time. And you would think in a
this is gonna
300-lap
open up
race
the-
that they would have plenty of time, but they are running out of it. 7 to go as both Green and Dahlgren stay high and allow these two on by.
Ty moved a tiny bit up the racetrack, and that allowed Alan to get a little bit closer. This is anybody's race, honestly.
Oh,
Look at that,
contact!
look at
A
that.
little bit of a wheel-to-wheel between Quilla and Indy. Quilla ducks back in, Indy ducks back in line behind Quilla. Here goes to the inside, Alan Berteau. Alan Berteau goes back to the inside, gets back in line. Robert Molechka's ahead of all this. He tries to go high around. That is now a damaged Esteban Rodriguez, who's not going to pick up a back-to-back win. Here goes Indy Kirchenbauer. He loses the front wing. He's forgiven. They're going to go side by side into the corner, and Kirchenbauer lifts out of it, thinking he might be damaged. Oh, Berteau in front of Molechka. They make contact. Molechka is damaged. Berteau might be damaged, and that's going to allow Ty Quilla to pull away. Chaos on 5 to go.
I think Alan thought that Rob was letting them by.
4 to go. Quilla now. The closest contact to him is Vega.
I think Berteau kind of got away with it. Yeah.
Coming now to 3 to go. Quilla looking for his first top split broadcast win here in the IIS, but it's not over yet. Yiker Vega now within 2/10 down the backstretch to the inside. Ty tries to defend down that old IRL line on the yellow line down the backstretch. Floats it back out to make the arc into 3 and 4 a little bit easier. Coming off the corner, coming now to 2 to go. Iker Vega now 1/10 of a second behind. They go to the apron. The battle is on for the finish here at I almost said Milwaukee. The battle is on for the finish here at Nashville. As Ty Quilla looking for that long first win. Iker Vega will get a surprise win here. Here we go down the backstretch again, protected to the inside, coming to the white flag this time by for a win here at Nashville. It is Quilla and Vega. I don't think Berteau is going to be part of this. White flag out, 1 to go.
Oh, Vega with a very aggressive move goes to the outside here in turn 1.
Vega has nothing to lose. He full sends on the outside, tries to reset. He's going to have slightly older tires, but not by much. Here's the Ty Quilla to the inside. He defends. He's going to stay low. He's going to scrub off a lot of speed here in the corner. Coming off the corner for the final time in the turn for home. Ty Quilla looking at the win at Nashville, and he holds off Vega for his top split IIS win. Great victory for him. Vega, a great finish for him in second, and Alan Berteau backing up his win here from a year ago with another podium for the Frenchman.
And I'm so happy for Ty.
97 thousandths of a second is the official timing and scoring. And here are your results from Nashville Superspeedway. Ty Quilla, Iker Vega, Alan Berteau, 1, 2, and 3. Great finish. Let's go look at P4. Matt Hollenbaugh. Wow, what a finish from Matt. Remember, we saw him very early in the race falling back. And again, it just showed how much of a marathon this race was. Don't panic. Stick to your plan. And that's what Matt Hollenbaugh did. He comes home with the top 5 and 4th. Clindy, same thing for Clindy, but I think maybe one mistake too many. And if you would ask Clindy, one mistake period is too many. But pit road mistakes by Clindy might have cost him a better finish. He comes home in 5th, though. Not a bad finish for the Pink Panther. Indy Kirchenbauer fades to 6th. And that kind of betrays the finish that he had in line for him. Matt Taylor, just not the fuel and the time that he needed to come home in the best position, but he does come home in 7th. AJ Musselman, very quietly, guys, just works his way up to 8th. Does what AJ normally does. Keeps the car out of trouble, brings it home for a good finish. That shows a lot of experience on his part. He's been around for a long time. He comes home in 8th. Christopher Bach making his top split broadcast debut here. It's been a while. I don't think I've seen him before, but a top 10. And I think a top 10 in your first top split broadcasted race is essentially a top 5 or maybe even a podium finish with how hard it was here. This was a marathon. This was a slugfest. You saw this race was not easy for any of these drivers. He comes home in 9th, and he did some time driving through the grass on the main straight at one point. So we know that he had some excitement in his race. Jesper Dahlgren, this race, he unfortunately gave it out by speeding on pit road, but he was among the leaders there before that penalty happened. He comes home in 10th. Esteban Rodriguez, we're not sure what happened to him. He must have had some damage smacking the wall. Very easy to do here. He comes home 11th. Jason Green, very nondescript, quiet race for him. He gets a top 15 and 12th. Robert Molechka, we saw his woes and what happened to him. Comes home 13th. Brandon Statton in 14th. Jared Curry involved in that big incident coming off of turn 3 that involved about 6 cars. He comes home 15th. Crash Neon 16th. JT Speed in 17th. Hilgard, Sophie Connell, and Kevin Varell. Again, all betrayed by incidents that took them out of the running here, but they're doing much better than their finishing record shows. 18th, 19th, and 20th. Anton Slaughterback, Uncle Rob, Jason, Rashad Trade, and Wayne Hutchin is your top 26 here for your 26 car field. And we're going to get some replays queued up here. I don't know if Iker knows to be here. Hopefully, we do get him in here. He's there?
The guys are letting me know. No.
Okay.
He's not here yet.
Good.
I don't think he even knew that this was broadcast.
Surprise! Hope you have all your sponsors ready. Let's get that off there and bring up some replays here. Alan Berteau. It's been a while since we talked to Alan, so we'll see what he has to say. Actually, since a year ago at this racetrack. We'll ask Alan what he likes so much about this racetrack, because I know, and I'm one of them. I know there's a lot of people that don't like this racetrack. And not liking is putting it lightly.
Yeah. Put me in that camp. This track is... Okay.
Put it in the rearview mirror. Although, in the history of IndyCar racing, it's good that we have another track from the history of IndyCar racing on iRacing.
Yes.
That we can, yeah. Now, if they could only bring us Texas World Speedway, Ontario, Nazareth, Walt Disney World Speedway, that would be nicer as well. We'll see. Anyways, we'll go into the booth here and bring in Alan Berteau, and we'll let the fellas ask a question here too. If they like. We'll bring in Alan Berteau. Here is Alan Berteau, the Frenchman. Good week for you, and it seems to be this is one of your favorite racetracks, backing up kind of your win from a year ago. Slightly longer race, coming home in 3rd here today. Wasn't the contention for the race here, but talk about those last handful of laps. Maybe a little bit of contact there. Maybe it cost you your chance. Maybe it didn't, but talk about it. Did it? And talk about also how is it that you seem to be so well at a racetrack so many people hate?
It was a tough race for sure. The strategy wasn't sure until we get to the last laps. About the contacts, I don't really know what happened. I think Rob was trying to let us by to not interfere for the win. And Indy, on my left, slowed down a little, and I never expected it to be a 3 wide. So I had to go wider, and I think I hit Rob. And my car was a bit broken, but it was still drivable, so I don't really know what really happened. But I like the track, but it was better when we had less downforce. It was a better race, and we could build some strategy, especially with the tires. And now it's just a fuel strategy, and we just want a good pit cycle, and we're just waiting for that.
Right, and also surviving the pack race. How difficult was to do that? Because there were some very, very scary moments. We actually saw the one incident where pretty much all of your teammates were wiped out, or at least Kevin, Christian, and JT were collected in that. But what do you do to keep yourself calm during those laps?
It was one of the few races where I enabled my voice chats to know where everyone is pitting. But for Kevin and Christian incident, there was one guy who didn't have his voice chats, so he didn't know they were pitting, and incidents happened. So yeah, it was very unfortunate for them since they had to pit together. And yeah, we just had to survive. I didn't survive for the first two races of the week, and this one did well, so I'm happy for the P3.
Okay, and completely unrelated, but est-ce fait pour le match? Quel sera le score de match?
Yeah. I thought it was during the race, but apparently not. So I'm gonna watch the match and see what happens. I hope for the P3 too.
So does third place really matter that much to you in World Cup?
I like this match.
Okay.
I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I would have preferred to be in the final.
Well,
and beat
maybe
Argentina
it's a sign of things to come. You finished third place today, and the French team finishes in third place.
I hope it will be the same.
Ryan, you got anything for Alan tonight?
Nothing to add. Just congratulations on a great result, and hopefully we see you in 2 weeks' time at Portland, I believe it is.
Yep.
Yeah,
any shout outs, Alan? Anybody want to say hi to friends, family, sponsors, teammates? Go right ahead.
Yeah, I thank my team for the insane queue setup, even if it didn't matter for this way. 300 laps, so it didn't matter. But it was a good race setup we could follow very easily. And thank for them.
All right, Alan, congratulations. Good to talk to you again. It's been a while, and maybe it's a sign of good things to come for the country of France. Alan Berteau finishes third today, and that's got a good payday, too. That's the highest strength of field race of the weekend, so I'm going to creep a little bit closer in the standings. Alan Berteau, we'll see you in a couple of weeks when we get to Portland. We do not have
not yet.
Iker yet.
He just found the Discord link.
Okay.
So I will imagine that he will join soonish. But
we
maybe
just-
we can talk to Ty in the meantime.
We will bring in Ty, and here is today's winner, Ty Quilla. Congratulations, my friend! A victory that has been long in your future. Got so close in Indy. Just didn't have the tires to last that one out today. Had the tires and maybe just a little bit of circumstance behind you kind of helped you out as well. And you got the win. Congratulations. You earned it. And again, this kind of goes back to my other question here that I asked Alan as well. He won here a year ago on the top split race. You finished on the podium on the Friday race. This is a racetrack that not a lot of people like. I don't like this racetrack. And you seem to do well here. So talk about reasons why you do so well here. Or have done so well this weekend here. And then also talk about the race. I mean, the race was a slog. It was a marathon. And it just seemed like, you had to be perfect across the entire 300 laps.
Yeah, I think you kind of touched on it. It was a long race, and I kind of thrive in those conditions. I like the long races. It opens up a lot of opportunities for people to make errors. And I like to not make errors as much as possible. Obviously, we all make them, and it's all about minimizing them. So I minimized all my errors today. I almost missed pit entry one time, and there was some things that kind of went not as ideal as I would want them. But we minimized everything, and we're able to stay up there on the lead lap all day, and just be in the right place at the right time as usual. It was fun seeing Rob come up because I was like, sweet, I can just tow and that helps everyone stay behind me. So, and then as soon as he let us all by, I was like, uh-oh, here they come. So, glad I could hold him off with that little incident as you spoke about. That definitely, I think, changed the result there. It was a little bit easier to hold off Iker than maybe Alan might have been able to. I'm not sure. So, it would have been fun to see.
Ty, brother, I'm so happy for you, man. I try to stay impartial over here, but I'm just so happy that you got it. I know how hard you worked all this, and just seeing you take the win. And you know, you were probably, and we were talking about it, you were probably the only driver who was in the top 5 the entire race. And we were, you know, making a mention of that, making a note, and then you were, you know, that you played the cards that were dealt to you perfectly. And you know, I'm so happy for you. There was one moment when there was that big incident that you actually said, I didn't want to be in that line and didn't want to pit in front of Anton. How does that feel now in retrospect? Because it, you know, that took away a lot of cars, and if you were there, it could potentially be you.
Absolutely. Thanks for being happy for me first. But yeah, I saw it happening. I mean, you kind of saw it happen earlier with, I think, 2 or 3 laps before that, someone pit, and he just didn't have any care for it. He just went all the way down. You know, gave just enough room for that person to go. And you know, we're going in quick on a fast pit entry, and it's kind of awkward. So I tried to give a little extra room, and that wasn't happening. So I said, you know what, I don't want to pit there. And obviously, at some point, we all have to make the decision to pit. I think I had like 3 laps left, so lived just long enough to stay out of that one.
Well, I'm so happy, and congrats again, my friend. And then you did a wonderful job, just, you know, making sure that nobody got by you. It was tough passing the leader though, but maybe not so much in the last few laps. How were you planning on doing that if there wasn't any incidents? Because, you know, there was a little bit of an incident between Alan and Robert and Indy, and that kind of spread everybody a little bit more. But had it not happened, what was your plan going into those last 5 laps?
I was mostly going to come down to just using the hybrid, just playing games with that, trying to minimize how much I'm using on exits, so that way I can use maybe a little bit on entry if I need it, and just kind of playing games depending on how the driver was going to be using their hybrid. Sometimes you can tell, sometimes it's a little harder to see, but it's really all you can do. Make sure you get good runs, get good exits, open it up. That way you give yourself as much speed as possible, and just not do too much brawling. You know, give a little nudge if you need it, but especially on the last lap there. So yeah, just overall, just hold that bottom line as much as possible, but open up the entries.
That's awesome. Well, brother, you know the deal. Any friends, family, sponsors, anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to first start out by shouting out Iker. I tried to get him in here for an interview. I don't know if he's in the server or not, but I tried to get him in here. Shout out to him on the podium. Same with Alan. Great drive today, guys. Great drive to all my satellite teammates. I know we had a couple that didn't go quite as planned due to some unfortunate events, so sorry to those guys. Thank you to you guys for putting on the show today. I appreciate you guys, as always. I'll look forward to watching this one back, especially since I get to watch me finish in first. So, and then yeah, shout out to the satellite guys. I didn't mention it, but all the work on the setup, fantastic job. We really nailed this one, I think, this week. I think we could have done a little bit better. Rob was able to definitely pull away and you know, be our tow truck. So, but hey, I used him to my advantage in this race because he had unfortunate circumstances happen. So glad I could do it.
Congratulations, Ty. Again, it's been long in the offing, and finally got it done today. Congrats. We'll see you in a couple of weeks when we get back to the twisty-turny tracks. We'll get on Portland. But until then, soak this one in. You earned it. We'll catch you at the next one.
Sounds good. Thanks, y'all. Take care.
And I did send a message to Iker in the server to gave him the link to go to the room. And if he can get here, great. We will definitely talk to him. In fact, I will bring his car up here on the screen and show you his stat line. So at least you can kind of see how his day went. So let's remove that. Let's put that up there. There he is. Started 10th, finished 2nd. Joining us in the booth is the IIS ambassador, Justin Patshower. Justin, we had ourselves a bit of a banger, kind of a surprise race. A lot of little mistakes kind of came back and burnt a lot of people, and a lot of people that we didn't expect to ever have mistakes happen to them, caught mistakes, some unfortunate, some not, some were weird, some were, you know, what we expect. So just a little bit of everything. And we had a pretty exciting finish as a result. How'd your race go?
Well, we had a photo finish in split 2 between Thomas Van Kirk and Ethan McNichol, 0.009 at the line.
Wow. So 97 thousandths of a second was nowhere close to what that race was.
Yeah. didn't qualify. Managed to work my way through the field. There were 5 cautions for like 15 to 300 laps, 43 lead changes, roughly the same that I saw in top split. The kicker, though, the average lap time between the top 3 on the podium, dead even, 26.107. I somehow managed to pull off a hell of a charge through the field early on, led about 38 laps, so more laps led stat padding there for me. Unfortunately, though, I miscalculated on the fuel and butt fumbled. Not as bad as the New York Jets, but I butt fumbled nonetheless, and ended up finishing 6th after starting 18th in car number 1. So overall, not that bad of a day. The last pit stop, I called out that I was pitting. There was a lap car that apparently didn't get the memo. He scared the living hell out of me, so I literally had to go around a second time just to go and
that was a reoccurring theme in our split as well. Well, good that you had somewhat of a good day, not the finish to reflect leading that number of laps, but we'll see you, I guess.
I will say this.
Go ahead.
I'm putting an ice pack on my wrist because bounce it, literally constantly deploying regen, deploy regen, deploy regen. I think I might have just initiated a little bit of carpal tunnel. Not bad, but oh god, it hurts.
Well, put some ice on it. And, take some ibuprofen and or Aleve or whatever. Yeah, Portland's next, so a little bit different on the regen there. But sorry to hear about your finish, but I'm glad you had a somewhat a good day. We're still waiting for Iker Vega. I don't know if he will show up or not.
Can't complain with another top 10 though.
Yeah, that was that's right. You said you finished 8th, is that right?
No, 6th.
Six. Yeah, that was a very good finish. I thought for some reason I thought you said you finished 18th. You started 18th. You finished 6th. Even better finish. Yeah. No, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, let me get the final thoughts here from. Let's hold on a sec before we do that. Let's just go back to. We'll reset it if we get to Iker comes back in here. We'll bring his car back up on the screen. We'll take out laps led. We'll just put up Ty's name as the winner here. We'll start with Ryan and then go to Tony. I'm kind of looking at the standings here. Of course, we always have the Luis Gonzalez Nunez driver of the race. I'm going to guess he would have chosen Indy Kirchenbauer, the prodigy. In the running there, late for a win, finished 11 spots better. He is a bit of an oval meister, but this is an open setup race, which adds another level of complexity to it on a very, very, very hard racetrack. And the prodigy comes home in 6th, 11 spots better. I'm going to go ahead and give him the LGN award. But Ryan, who did you see as probably your other driver of the race outside of the podium, and your thoughts here on this particular race today? A long marathon and the reoccurring theme, kind of what we saw of incidents coming to pit road.
Yeah, as for driver of the race for me, I think I'm going to go for. Yeah, probably I'm going to go for Andy Kirchenbauer. Just because he was always up there challenging for. I think he was in the lead at one point, and he was always in contention, and got a great result with finishing P6 today. But overall, I enjoyed that race, and I was kind of expecting it not to be that exciting, but it actually turned out to be really exciting, great to watch and great to call, and looking forward to Portland in 2 weeks' time.
Tony, final thoughts here. I know you're happy. I know you said you tried to be unbiased, but hey, a teammate's a teammate. And so he got the win. I suspect that you guys worked pretty hard on this one anyways. And you have to, if you have to beat people like Robert Malechka and the Power Slide and Team Hype guys, you got to bring your A game. And it looks like your team did, specifically Ty. And your final thoughts and your driver of the race.
Again, I agree wholeheartedly. I'm very, very happy to see the guys get one, to see Ty in particular get one. He has been working so hard at this, and just to see him take that checker flag was fantastic to me. And again, you were asking about the setup at the beginning of the race, and the setup was great. The setup was super competitive, and it also showcased it. And that's what we want. We want to be able to have the chance to go toe to toe with all these other big teams. So that's just cherry on top of everything. For driver of the race, I would say Iker. I know that LVN doesn't like to call out podium finishers, but he did a fantastic job. I mean, it's not easy to be, because he was in the top 10 the entire race. I mean, at the end there was attrition, and that kind of helped him out, but he was there. And I don't think I had seen him before, so just by virtue of being one of the first races that he did and to finish up front, that's just fantastic. But anyway, looking forward to the next one. This was a fun race. I gotta run. I have to qualify for Pro Div, so I'm gonna have to head out, and
Good luck.
I will see you guys in the next one.
Good luck. I don't see Iker yet, so what I would suggest everyone do, just go to the iRacing IndyCar community Discord. I'm sure he might have some things to say there. All the post-race stats and stuff that I've been doing here lately, I'm going to save them for the P1 Discord. I will not spam the IndyCar Community one. So if you want to learn more about the stats and milestones and everything about IIS history, I'm going to post those all over at the P1 Discord. Invite is in the description, and you can learn more about what happened stat-wise here out of this race, and any milestones that might have been met. We'll update those shortly after I get those results uploaded and crunched into the old AI cruncher. That will be later today. But that's going to do it here for today. Once again, your podium here from Nashville Superspeedway. Ty Quilla, it's just a matter of time, gets his first big top split IIS victory here today, followed by Iker Vega and Alan Berteau. Good points day for Alan. He's going to like that one. Join us again in 3 weeks on Saturday, August 8th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for round 13. Now the 2026 campaigns to see the drivers head and tackle to the very challenging Portland International Raceway. Coverage starts around 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, it's 2:00 p.m. Eastern. As always, for the correct time in your area, come on everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy, require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and have enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series Top Split broadcast, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2026 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. I want to thank you for watching and make us part of your YouTube viewing during NTT IndyCar race weeks. Also in chat, I don't have it pinned, but you can send super chats as well to us in super chat or in chats here on YouTube. And again, any donation will be greatly appreciated. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game, it's not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of today's race. If you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell so don't miss out on more of IIS broadcast, or miss our next IIS broadcast, when we go to Portland, like I said, August 8th, 2 p.m. Eastern. P1's IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split coverage is presented to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the stream description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more, like them on Facebook and follow them on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries and learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook. You can also follow us on X and Instagram. You can follow all of our social links there on Linktree, and they are all in the description. So, for Super Mix, Antonio Estrada, Ryan Skywalker, everyone at 4D Racewear, and everyone here at P1, I'm Gary Gatto saying all thanks for watching, and all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Make sure to catch the real stars and cars of the NTT IndyCar Series tomorrow, Sunday, July 19th. I think it says at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm not sure that's right, but check your local listings for the Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix from Nashville Super Speedway. You can watch live on Fox and the Fox One app, or listen with Mark Janes and the boys from IndyCar Radio on Sirius XM. Be sure to check your local listings and Sirius XM channel information for everything you need to do to listen in your area. You can catch us again Saturday, August 8th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time at Portland for round 13 of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split right here on P1. We'll see you, and we hope you enjoy the IndyCar race this weekend.